Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. Hey, we're back. It's a brand new day, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a good afternoon to you all. It's gonna be your boy Aggressor coming in as a host once again this time around. Joined by Floki on my left side, and of course, Scribs on my right. How are your boys feeling? Starting off with you, Floki.
Oh, I'm feeling good. Enigma versus TET. This is going to be fun. I mean, TET is a team that I mean, you've told me this before the stream as well. They're a little bit wild, they're a little bit rowdy. I feel like for them to really activate, we're gonna have to wait until that second map because they do like to feel out how the enemy team likes to play.
That is for sure. Let's head on down over to the matchups for today to get a visual representation. I'm pretty sure you guys already set your calendars because, hey, on TSC, we make sure that you guys know everything early. That's why you need to hit the subscribe. You need to hit that bell as well to get notified as soon as we do go live because the first match is going to be a banger one for sure. It's going to be Enigma versus the side of TET. And honestly, Crips, I want your thoughts on this. What do you think about these two teams right off the get-go?
It's hot versus cold. TET are a bunch of hot-headed individuals who have immense amounts of firepower, whereas Enigma Gaming, on the other hand, are a more of a cool, calm, collected team. So what happens when you mix lava with ice? I am not so good at geography, neither am I good at science, but with this clash, I think we'll get to see a little bit of both.
Yeah, that is for sure. These two teams, like, I don't know if I could sum it up better than you right then and there. So it's a really good ideology. But hey, let's head on down over to the brackets to get a visual representation of where all of these teams are going to be standing because I feel as though this matchup is quite spicy and it could just set the pace for everything that will happen down in the lower brackets. Because if the side of TT or Enigma are able to move on down forward, it's going to be two completely different dynamics heading on down forward onto the following matchup. And the players who go up against Godlike and the side of Force One, it's gonna be quite interesting. These two matches, I'm really excited for them. But Floki, I want your thoughts on the playoff brackets.
Ooh, I mean, Enigma, they just had a very hard series against Global Esports yesterday, right? So my main concern is that when you have this sort of a series, you end up being, a little bit caught off guard because what ends up happening is that, you go all the way into these multiple overtimes against Global Esports. You start, maybe doubting yourself in the back of your mind, and maybe you take that to the lower bracket and it affects your performance over there. So I feel like compared to the Esports team, who are actually coming off a high after having beaten Team Valor, it's going to be, maybe a little bit harder for Enigma to adjust to what the esports team is going to be doing this time around for Enigma. So I feel like, if they can reset mentally from what happened yesterday, I feel like Enigma are going to be in a good spot. But apart from that, I think the esports team, they might have a hard time.
Yeah, Crips, do you have any thoughts on the bracket stages before we head on down over to the MVP standings?
I would just like to point out how even though Enigma Gaming lost with a score of 2-1 yesterday, all these matches that they played were just really, really close. The first two maps were just whitewashes from either team, but then we saw like a 5 overtime game in Bind, and the score was like
Yep.
2018 something. That's a ridiculous amount of rounds to be played out. That's almost double the amount of length of any normal match. So they must be mentally exhausted from last night. But then coming today, it's a fresh day. It's a fresh team that they're up against. And they are just hoping that TET won't put up as big of a fight as Global Esports did.
Considering the map of Bind and the fact that you brought that up, we know for a fact that TT, they love that map and they're not going to be stopping whatsoever from picking that up. So we could just be heading on down over into Bind soon enough. But hey, you guys got to wait for that on the map veto screen right at the very end. So don't go anywhere. And let's head on down over to the MVP standings instead. And Floki,
Yep.
run us down through because these players, they're on your screens and they're ready to take the world by storm.
Oh yeah, and I feel like the MVP screen is the one place where it does the most injustice to Team Enigma because Team Enigma, like we've talked about multiple times, everybody on their team carries their weight. They all carry their own weight, and you could say the same for all these other teams as well. But many a times, as you can see from Global Esports, sometimes it's SK Rossi going berserk. I think yesterday he had like 36 frags or something, absolutely wild. MW1 as well, just fragging out for velocity. Excali and Rafa, I mean, I don't even need to say what they're capable of. So yeah, compared to that, Enigma, they don't really have that star power per se. But that doesn't mean that the players are not talented. In fact, they're all very individually skilled. And I'm pretty sure if we actually saw the standings from from the 5th to 10th place, we definitely have multiple members from Enigma up there because all of them they're just so consistent and they play off of each other so well that they don't really need to feel the pressure of having a star fragger.
I completely agree with you there. All the members of the side of Stigma, they just balance each other out and mellow everyone on the server. Normally, when we consider a team like Global Esports, they enable Rossi to a certain extent that if he's not getting 40 frags, you know for a fact that something is wrong because that's their team dynamic. But for the side of Enigma, it's completely different. They like to play it slow, they like to play it smart, and then take it down systematically. But moving on down forward, hey, we can talk a lot about these other teams later when their matches are going to be coming on down up. But hey, we need to talk about the current players and what they're really up to. Let's head on down over to Enigma Gaming and their team intro. And now, Crips, I'm gonna be handing you the mic because you need to walk us right through this because Enigma, it's one of the teams that you like as well.
I love the fact that Ghost is still popping off for this team, even though these are the last few days that he's going to be in here. Badman, on the other hand, continues to deliver no matter which map he's on. God Vexy also has improved so much, especially in his versatility, because we're starting to see him play the initiator and the controller as well these days. So I'm really looking forward to see these three guys. The other two as well, I don't need to speak about them as much because they are just always present and they have always delivered. Nothing has changed from the start of the gauntlet till the end today. They are just omnipresent and they are ever so reliable.
That is for sure. Enigma Gaming, they just shout out reliability every single time we see this roster. They're like that far cry from what we expect from the side of TET, which are a lot more rowdy, as Floki said initially. They like to be aggressive, they like to have fun, and they like to take a lot of risks. But Enigma, they're not really that. They like to take calculated risks, they like to play it slow. That's why they're a lot more, let's say, cool, calm, and much more collected in comparison. But hey, we can talk more about TD later because we still have one more segment for the side of Enigma. So let's head on down over to the player spotlight from their side, probably by none other than AMD Ryzen Radiant. And honestly, Loki, talk us right through this, man, because it's gonna be Ghost, the dagger in the night.
Oh man, I mean, we all remember the 14-12 comeback that they did, right? Enigma is a
Yeah.
team that basically they never just hang up the sandals and be like, all right, you know what, we're done. This is up. We're done with this game. Let's move on to the next one. No, they fight tooth and nail, and they make legendary comebacks happen. So Ghost is an instrumental part of that because he's the primary operator of the team. Not a big surprise here that he has the most number of kills, but yeah, he's been instrumental to just make sure the team ends up working out in situations where you really need someone to just fall back on and be like, okay, you know what, we need to find those initial picks. We need to make the game a little bit easier for ourselves. Who's the man who's going to do it? It's going to be Ghost. So when Hika is having trouble popping off, like we saw on Ascent against Force One the other day, it's usually Ghost who steps in, chimes in for his team and gives them that sense of breathing room and comfort that they need to get their heads back in the game and be like, guys, don't worry, we got this. I'm here. We can still do this. Let's not give up just yet.
That's so true. The Jet player, when he steps up personally, you know for a fact that your entire team can take a massive sigh of relief. And Ghost is one of those players, even when they are down, let's say 6, 8 rounds, if Ghost is able to get a 4K or an ace or even a 3K, it feels as if the entire dynamic for the side of Enigma just shifts in a matter of seconds. It's like a snap of a finger and everyone's just done. It's gonna happen. We're gonna be going in for a comeback, and that's what the side of Enigma is, ladies and gentlemen. And Ghost on their side he's gonna be a massive factor for this win against the side of TET, because if you're not able to get the momentum away from them, things could be a lot more difficult. But hey, speaking about TET, let's head on down over into their team intro. And now, Grips, I'm gonna be handing you the mic because honestly, you gotta walk us right through this team because this team has a lot of potential, and hey, they're made for the con.
Honestly, I feel like every one of these players is a star player. When we head on over to those player spotlights, I think all of them need to be in here because to some extent, you really can't point a finger on one particular person who steps up for the team again and again. Like, yeah, sure, these guys have their divisions, they have their roles and responsibilities of controllers, initiators, sentinels, etc., etc. They all kind of play like duelists whenever required. They are all able to frag out. They coordinate with each other well. Whenever they are, together, hitting a site like an execute, with utilities raining in every direction, every player just trying to fly inside the site. They're a very momentum based team, and if you give them that, if they are able to clump up all five of the players and hit a site together, then God save you, because nobody else can. Yeah,
Yeah,
but when
that
it comes
is
to splitting up and gathering information, that is something that TET struggles with a little bit. So they have their pros and cons, and I hope they're able to play to their strengths today.
taking a backseat approach is really difficult when your entire team is based upon momentum, and that is one of the primary flaws of TET. But hey, they can sometimes use the flaw to your greatest strengths because
Exactly.
them having such an unpredictable nature just adds to the X factor every single time. That's why you see them be so explosive on the map of Bind, because on Bind, strategy is like that second foot gunfight, and raw rotations and constant aim duels is like going to be coming on down to right at the very beginning. So the side of TT, they have that little bit of an edge, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that later as we head on down over to the map veto. So first of all, let's head on down towards the side of the player spotlight for the side of TET, ladies and gentlemen, powered by none other than AMD Ryzen Radiant. And now Floki, run us right through this because it's going to be Sammy himself coming on the killjoy and sometimes legit.
Yeah, and this is very important because the esports team, every single one of their member is a very, very aggressive player. So it's good to have someone who's like, you know what, I'm not going to partake in the craziness. Only when need be, I'm going to go ham and I'm going to start, making plays when absolutely necessary. Apart from that, I sort of need to be that rock for the team. That is what Sammy basically tells me when he's on that killjoy. So, every single time you see this man, he's not going to be the first one peeking. He's not going to be the one taking the aggressive firefight unless he deliberately needs to, unless they're starting out on offense and they're trying to make something interesting happen, trying to maybe give some more room to the entry fragger over to Binks or whoever it is that plays the entry frag on the team or the duelist on the side of team on the side of the esports team. So Sammy's role really in the team is just to make sure that he ties them up together and that they have someone to fall back on that defensive half. Because let's be real here, the esports team, their offense is fantastic, but when it comes to defense, they often can crumble.
I feel as though the main reason why they crumble from time to time is because they try and play it a little bit too defensively, or their reads are just a tiny little bit off from time to time. But hey, they're able to adapt, but their adaptations are not as quick. But I feel as though Sammy could be that rock that they need, that X factor that just pops off all of a sudden to bring everything back. Because I still remember Savage just hitting absolutely beautiful and nutty shots when he was going up against the side of Team Valor. The guy had 2 HP, got 2 kills by just popping people in the head, and both of them were in 1 health. So Sammy, when it comes down to his raw mechanical aim, this guy can be a literal driving force for the side of TET, and I'm really looking forward to see what he's going to be bringing down onto the server. Because if he's bringing his A game down to the table, we know for a fact that Enigma, their backs are again going to be against the wall to try and shut this guy down. He has a very good track record against him. So moving on down the line, though, that's going to be the side of TT and Enigma. We've seen the teams and what they're capable of, but hey, we also need to see the battleground. Where are these teams going to be headed to actually take this fight? So let's head on down over to the map people screen and see what the 3 maps are going to be, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'm going to hand it over to you, Crips, because now it's going to be the map of Haven. And Haven is where the side of Enigma thrive.
I would say that the map veto is pretty fair. We already know that Enigma Gaming is the more strategically oriented team that relies on reads and focusing on strategy a lot more. So Haven is perfect for them. And then Bind just happens to be the home turf of the esports team. They've always played well on this map. And Bind is also one of those maps which can get really chaotic in the heat of the battle. You never know what's going on, and TET thrives in this chaos, so Bind is perfect for them. And Ascent is neutral ground as always. So, yeah, my prediction is that this map, I mean, this entire match might just go the distance. Maybe we'll get to see all three games with Enigma picking up Haven, Esports Team picking up Bind, and Ascent. Probably will be a very close game as well, with a score of 13-10 or 13-11 or something.
So normally, whenever I'm the host, I like to give a little bit of spicy speculation, allow the chat to hate the casters before they go into the match. So I want a
Oh.
couple of I want a couple of predictions from the side of you here, Crims, before I hand it over to Floki for his analysis. What do you think is gonna happen? I want some exact predictions. If you don't want to say which team is gonna win, then it's fine. But it's up to you. Do you want to create some controversy? Yes or no?
Can we, Floki, can you
I can.
just join me on this one and tell aggressive not to put us in this spot? Like,
Oh
Come
no, I
on,
was
come
actually
on,
going the
come
other
on.
direction. I was gonna call out every single Bings fan in the chat and be like, "Hi, Enigma's gonna win 2-0. What you gonna do about it?"
oh my
Oh my
god,
god!
he did it. He said it.
Okay,
He did it.
you can get to
I
his
did it.
DMs, man.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yep,
So
I'm saying it. So, Crips, you're welcome. I've taken the burden off of your shoulders. But yeah, all you Bings fan in the chat, I mean, you might want to give him some energy because he's gonna need it going up against Enigma Gaming. Enigma Gaming is a strategically oriented team, like Crips mentioned, and beating them is no, walk in the park. So yeah, if the esports team are gonna make a comeback, I'm just gonna throw a bone in there. It's probably gonna be on Bind. I don't think they have what it takes to take away Haven from Enigma.
My
that's
prediction
gonna
is
be
that
a lot of words, man, that you
yeah.
could just regret really soon because we know for a fact that TT, they're like a literal X factor of a team that could just bring an absolute storm down under the tables. We know them to be a team that can just be a rushing tide that can sweep away pretty much anyone when they are in their own element. But hey, Crips, I think that you were trying to say something, and sorry if I cut you.
Yeah, I would predict that this game will go 2-1. I don't think they can take it 2-0. Enigma are not that clean on Bind. We saw them struggle quite a lot yesterday. A
Oh yeah.
5 overtime game on Bind is no joke, man.
It's
Uh,
against
it's
global though. Like, I mean, that's what I want to throw back at Crips a little bit before we jump in. I mean, don't you think that facing off against global is maybe the reason we went to 5 overtimes? If it were like some other team that they faced off against, maybe it'd be a little easier for them. Because like,
Uh,
let's be honest, in the playoffs, Enigma is definitely top 14, right? Like, you definitely, when you rank all the teams, you look at all the teams that are in the playoffs, Enigma has to be on the top four, up there with global, velocity, and godlike, and all the likes.
yeah, but the fact of the matter is that both the teams, Global and Enigma, struggled on their attacking side during the overtimes yesterday. They
Yeah,
both
that
were able
is
to pull off rounds in defense. TUT thrives on their attacking side in Bind. That's the that's the X factor there. So I don't think
okay.
they will be able to take Bind.
All right, all right. You guys can calm down. You guys can completely calm down here. A lot of controversies have been made, ladies and gentlemen. But hey,
You
these two
started it.
casters there. Hey, these two casters are ready. I know I started it, but hey, these two casters are absolutely ready, and they're gonna be pumped to head on down over to the match and start this casting. It's gonna be a battle of Loki versus Scripps, and also a battle of Enigma versus TET, ladies and gentlemen. The battleground has been set. The casters are gonna be pumped up, and we're gonna be heading on down into the match soon enough. But hey, before we do head on down over to the match, just because of a controversy's sake, head on down over to the links in the description below. See all the deals that we have set up for you down from our sponsors. And also, hey, we have a spicy giveaway as well from the side of LG Ultragear. You can get yourself a gaming monitor if you are going to be feeling lucky. And if you are feeling lucky, hey, get on down below, enter down, and see if your luck favors you, yes or no. And hey, as you're in the match as well, on the caster screen, you're also going to be seeing a QR code on your bottom right side. And make sure to scan that. Get yourself a can of Red Bull. Get yourself energized because as you just saw, Floki, he's a little bit too energized. So moving on down the line, it's going to be an interesting one, that is for sure. But hey, we're going to be back with you real shortly. As I said, these two onto the caster's desk with the TEC Gauntlet season, or the LG Ultimate TEC Gauntlet season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. Scan the code to get your Red Bull cans because this match is gonna be very, very energetic, and you guys are gonna need some energy to keep up with it as well. Floki already has his can, I can see. What's up, Floki? You've already said
Yeah.
everything you needed to. I would encourage you not to trigger the chat anymore, but can't really stop you now, can I?
Absolutely not. But yeah, let's have a look at the map veto crypts. I mean, this is where things get interesting because actually, the side of the esports team, they always start on the attacking half for the first two maps. So it's going to be them setting the tempo against Enigma. And I think that's what's working out in their favor. I definitely feel after what I've seen the esports team do that while Bind is their home ground, on other maps, they do seem to be comfortable going up on the attacking side first, which is kind of weird, right? When you think about it, because most teams enjoy playing defense first. They're the ones who like to take a read on the enemy, understand what they're doing, counter it, and just have an easier time in the attacking half overall. But the esports team is not like that. And if you look at the map beater, it goes Haven, Bind, Ascent, and yeah, like I mentioned, I mean, it's just going to be the esports team starting out on attack on both Haven and Bind. So that makes things really interesting because I feel like if Enigma were to start on attack, then this would be a whitewash on Haven. But because the esports team actually are starting out on Haven, they could have a chance over here. Now, do notice that I say chance. I don't say that I think they have a very good shot of taking away Haven because let's be real here. Haven is just Enigma's home turf. You can't beat them on Haven. Bind though is like where you mentioned. I mean, yesterday after what we saw from Enigma, they do look a little bit shaky. And I want to know your thoughts. Is it because of the agent selection that made things a little bit weird? Was it Kappa's breach really that caused problems on Bind, or do you think it's more the way Enigma likes to play this map?
No, it's more about how these two teams were just trying to go for fakes, double fakes, triple fakes off time and time again. That's what made me question the decisions. And doesn't matter which agent you have, whether it's a breach or a sky or maybe even a sova, whatever agent you have, you will run out of utility when you're trying to sell those double, triple fakes.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you will have to rely on some just good old gunfights. And I feel like when it comes down to conserving utility, Enigma Gaming are a lot more conscious that way. They don't throw everything they've got at the first hint of trouble. Although against TET now, in hindsight, I realize they probably should because TET are not the kind of team that go for double, triple fakes. Maybe a single fake is something that they would do, but they are a team that relies heavily on executes. So now that we've got this out of the way, I feel like that is something that Enigma can use to their advantage. Of course, they couldn't use it against Global Esports, who are also a very cool, calm, and composed team. Like we saw yesterday how both the teams basically countered each other to such an extent that none of them had any strategies left, and it all really boils down to which one of them can come up with stuff on the fly. Against TET, I feel like they probably won't be struggling with coming up with new stuff as much, but they
Okay.
definitely will be struggling to keep up with their breakneck pace.
Okay, so I feel like I agree with everything you say. I think I need to justify myself a little bit further as to why I think Enigma are going to have maybe a bit of an easier time in this best of three.
Hmm?
It's because when you actually look at it, they are always starting out on defense,
Hmm.
and that means Batman's going to have a lot of impact. He is
Hmm.
a big brain Sentinel player. He's the one who's usually playing that Cypher, playing that Killjoy
Hmm.
on whichever map he's there. And you know what? I think the agent selection is ready. So let's have a look at the agent selection screen and see what he's going to be playing. Because, yeah, if you want to be winning against the side of Team Enigma, then, well, you got to be dealing with Batman. And dealing with Batman is no easy feat. This man can lock down a side pretty well on his own.
Yeah, Batman on his signature Killjoy. Hika's picking up a Sage this time. That's
I like this.
interesting. I mean, a Sage on Haven is,
They're
in
starting
my
out on
pers-
defense.
yeah, I mean, sure, it can be used in a lot of creative ways, but then I would much rather see Hika on some other agent. Let's see how comfortable he is with this fun. Godvexy on Sova, no surprises. Ghost on Jet, Ezzy on Astra. All of that is standard. I'm only surprised with the Sage pick. I never expected them to do this in a map like Haven. Maybe on Ascent, maybe on Bind, I would have still been fine with it. But
Mhm.
okay, let's see.
Yeah. I also like the switch up that the esports team is looking like they're gonna make. I see Binks hovering over the Phoenix instead of that traditional race. So that's very interesting because I do think I've seen him play Raze on Haven before. It hasn't looked very hot. The Phoenix, on the other hand, is just solid as ever on the attacking side, right? If you're starting out on
Select your
attack
agent.
and you pick yourself a Phoenix, you know you're gonna have something to fall back on. The extra life, the run it back, especially if you win those first two rounds, it can give you the edge you need to win that first buy round and really set the tempo for the first 5 rounds. I think that's what the esports team are going to need if they want to go up against Enigma. If they win pistol, if they win the second round buy, and somehow Binks is able to get his ultimate, they are going to be able to just roll over the side of Enigma, moving into the first buy round. And I feel like that's very important. I think that's really what Phoenix offers you. I think maybe that's why teams like picking that Phoenix most of the time.
Yeah, Phoenix definitely allows these guys to play a lot more aggressively, which is not a surprise because we have established already that TET is a very aggressive team. On the side of Enigma, I mean, they can be aggressive when they want to. They don't, play aggressively to pick up fights, but they do it in order to gather information whenever they get free reign over a particular part of the map. Not sure how much they'll be able to do with Sage. Maybe they can lock off an entire site and then go elsewhere. Maybe they will be able to commit rotations preemptively because of this. So let's see what's going to happen as we are about to jump into the game, ladies and gentlemen. The game is ready, and we're going to be starting off with Haven right about now.
Oh yeah, this one's gonna be fun. God Vexy, right off the bat with the arrow, looking to just shut down any pushes that they might be making towards the main area, but that recon should give them a fair idea that no one's really playing over here. In fact, what it has allowed them to do is actually goes to set up over here at the spot, but he eats a headshot from the classic and he decides that it's in his best interest to get the hell out of here and go back on site, ask for a heal from Hika, who is making his way towards him. Interesting, I don't think I've seen a wall being used by Hika, so that's a bit of a weird decision from the side of Enigma, choosing not to wall up any of these areas, not even Garage, not B, not anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see how they're going to make use of the Sage.
Yeah, I feel like they will probably commit these walls later on, maybe towards B, because a lot of times, the esports team, what they like to do is take control of mid, show presence, and then commit towards one of the sides after leaving one of the players on B. So I feel like that will happen in the buy round. Maybe TET will pull that off, but for now, in the pistol, it seems like a full-on C commitment, and Enigma prepared for this one.
My god, Ghost, he's
One
able to
enemy
line up two
remaining.
with the Ghost and get a
30
third one as
seconds
well.
left.
Fox is going to be taken down. Only Bad Love surviving here with the Sheriff. Can do a lot of work, and he's going to fight Batman as the Sentinel being taken out, but the rotations are coming in. It's a 3v1 situation. Ghost, he's still standing strong, and the second heat of the game is going to come through. Give him a even better fighting chance against Bad Love, who's down to 44 HP. 2 Ghost bullets should do it. In fact, Ghost, he's just going to dash in his face to distract him as Bad Love gets taken out by God Vex. The first round goes the way of Team Enigma, despite them not buying the wall. Interesting decision here from the side of Enigma.
Yeah, Enigma are doing really, really well in terms of reading the esports team. They showed presence everywhere. They had Binks go up towards mid, even showed presence just outside A lobby. And after all of that happened, they moved towards the C side. But the moment they saw Binks fall back, that's when Enigma realized that this C rush is impending, and there were 3 people prepared to intercept them already. I love this read from the Team Enigma over here. Them stacking C got them the round.
Absolutely, and look at them. I mean, I love the proactiveness that Enigma show on this map. Every single time, Ghost takes the initiative to go forward and see what the hell the enemy team is up to. Now he's gonna get spotted out, but thankfully he has a dash, so he can get the hell back to safety. The Cloudburst is also gonna be there to cover his retreat. They are a little bit late on their utility, so that's gonna be a bunch of utility wasted. And now the wall's gonna come through as well, so that short push, well, it's just well, for lack of a better word, it's gone to shit. And Hiccup, he's going to be able to take out things. Just one player surviving now. It's going to be SS Sammy. If he can even make it to a site and plant it, it's going to be the best case scenario, but that's not going to happen. He has his knife out. As he beating him with the AWP sound, is going to be able to get the kill as well. So, easy first 2 rounds for Enigma, but now things start to get real. The esports team, they get their Phantoms, they get their Vandals, they get all the utility that they want, and now they're the ones who are going to be deciding where is it that they want to hit, and they're the ones who have a better chance of taking this round.
Once again, a 3-man ace stack intercepting the esports team right there. They saw Ghost in the sewers, and Ghost saw literally every single one of them, called over for the rotations. And after they were able to shut down the initial push towards sewers, they also were able to stop the esports team from retreating behind and going towards any other part of the map. Love these adjustments from Enigma. But now they're up against a much more solid esports team, because they have a bunch of Phantoms and Vandals in their hands, and they're creeping up towards Garage. Will they be able to keep up? Oh, Batman stacked. He's probably going to get wall banged. Gets away to safety. That was a good escape.
Yeah.
Walked away with an inch of his life, but they've taken Garage control now. Unfortunately, once again, this C and Garage area do seem stacked. Batman getting down will open up the site to some extent. Now they have the opportunity to climb into window as well, and that's gonna prompt Ezzy to go back towards the C entrance. While that's happening, Ghost has been picked off as well. Oh my goodness, they're getting all the kills. They're blowing this side apart, and that's what the esports team is famous for, brute forcing their way into these areas and picking up all the frags.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the esports team in a nutshell. Once they make up their mind, nothing's gonna stop them, and guess what? The Spectres aren't enough either. Now, though, the playing field is slightly more level. You have Phantoms and Vandals up on the side of Team Enigma as well. The Operator's online for Ghost, and this is where things start getting a little bit hard. This is where you would like to see Binks having that ult up on the Phoenix, but unfortunately, I think he's just 1 point shy. And yeah, he's just 1 point shy of it. So if they can get him towards A main or C long, he might be able to get that ult and open things up for his team. And it's much needed because this round is the round they really need to win to break the economy on Team Enigma. Ghost not really willing to give them the chance. Misses the first shot though, so that means he's going to have to retreat. Now that they know where the operator is, they can make a move on the other parts of the map. There's only a Stoa holding down this A main side, and they could very, very easily make like the fodder. But Binks, yikes, takes a bit of a damage, commits the hot hands, but that's okay because he has the ultimate now.
Yeah, but the operator is now moving towards the B side from the side of Enigma. Unfortunately, that is not going to be enough. Got Mexi with the drone, gets caught out, and Sammy capitalizes. Now you've got Binks committing his ultimate as well, and Hika is trapped over here. There's no way out. He will survive the first body of Binks, but the shock dots do not land on him. He survives that as well, and the rotations have come in. He's done good enough to hold this area down for as long as possible by himself, but he's going to finally go down. 3v5 retake, but the spike hasn't been planted yet. Can they do anything to stop it? Yes, they can. Ghost is still popping off. Can they actually get inside the site though? Because that's going to be the more difficult task.
Yeah, it's all going to be down to Ghost. If he can find these pickoffs... Oh god, Sammy just walks away within an inch of his life, and Ezzy, oh, he's not able to get the kill on the retreat. The curveball goes out from Binks. The Spam's going to come through, but Ezzy, somehow, 2 players... But Bad Love pulls it back, lines them up in return. Lineups on lineups as the esports team put a hard-fought round on board for themselves. A very important one too at that, and now Enigma are on an eco.
I thought that double kill from Ezzy was really impressive, but then Bad Love, he says that his double kill is even better. Both the Astra stepping up for their teams. That is ridiculous. This was one hell of a round. Line it up for the highlight reels because we've got plenty of it.
Oh yeah, first 4 rounds of the game. I mean, there's still so much more remaining. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. This time around, though, Enigma not really another weaponry to work with, so let's see what the change of strategy is going to be. Well, they're going to try and set up Ghost to get that ultimate off so he can have the knives out. But oh no, Badman missing the shots with his Sheriff. He does see them walking towards Veto, so I think that's one thing that's good. Godbex is going to find one kill on Sammy, but unfortunately, Banks is going to be able to get the trade, and still a 3-4 situation. Ghost has committed the knives. It's all on him to bring this round back. Batman though chimes in with that Sheriff, makes it an even 3v3 affair, but still, the spike is down. The onus is on Enigma to try and take this back, but Fox goes behind, gets the lurk in and takes out Ghost. That's the knives being taken out, and the duels have been committed. You know exactly where the side of Enigma are, and this round is all but over.
But Ezzy still wants to stick it, and nobody's shooting him. This could be disastrous. The shock darts, he tags the damage. Bad luck comes in at the last second. Oh, this could have been bad.
That was almost a disaster. 0.3 seconds remaining on the clock, but Enigma, well, they were 0.3 seconds away from victory, and that's all that the side of the esports team needed. So, good for them, but now Enigma once again have a bye. The question is, do the esports team have enough firepower? Because they do have the Cosmic Divide at the ready, so if they want, they could just brute force their way in towards C.
Yeah.
In such a way that Garage is sealed off, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, about that. I mean, forget the Cosmic Divide. They did not even use their Nebulas to get into the B site last time. They did not use their smokes. Binks had to use his firewall to create an opening. Or rather, should I say, stop that opening towards C-Link. But this time, when they go into Garage, Ezzy will win the duel. And only he has been spotted out. They still don't know that Batman is present over here as well. And he's not been revealed. This might just be the perfect bait. Finally, Batman is stepping up. And as soon as it walks out of the Nebula, Batman is prepared once again. A double kill for the side of Team Enigma. It's just Fox and Binks left. At least they've got the spike on them, so not all is lost. They don't have to go on a retrieving mission.
It's going to be Binks as well as Fox surviving now, and it's going to be a hard one for them because these aren't exactly the best agents to have to open up a side. You'd much rather have some smokes ads already, someone like an Omen or an Astra, but you're going to have to make do with Phoenix for now, as well as the Cypher. See if they can actually get the spike down. That'd be the redeeming quality for them this game. If they can just get that spike down this round, they'd be super happy, but it's not going to be easy. Hika's waiting. He's checking around, so he's going to be the one who's going to be peeking Binks. The timing, it's all that matters over here. The first Nanostorm's going to come out, and there you go. Hika goes forward, gets a kill, but Binks takes him out with the hot hands. Somehow, at least the spike could be going down, but Ezzy does not want to push. Fox goes forward and finds God Vexy, but that's all he's going to find for now. As once again, Enigma, they put it around, make it an even 3v3, but I think the economy is looking good on the side of TD. Nope, it isn't.
TET this time tried something unique. They usually do take mid control right at the start, but this time they spread out even more. And they got picked off individually to some extent. Not enough trades on Garage. They did take a little bit of control towards mid by showing presence and then moving in there. But that bait set up by Ezzy and Batman was perfect.
Get out of my way.
Let's see if they're able to pull it off against, because that is more of a one and done trick. But Ghost, he's not the guy who goes one and done. He's going inside sewers every time to pick up that early engagement. And this time there's no presence towards A. They probably will expect Enigma Gaming to be in aggressive positions like this. But do they expect TET to play in such a passive fashion? Like, they don't have mid control now. Like, a minute left on the clock. At this point, they start showing presence on A. I think this is going to be a full commitment. No quakes this time around as the run it back and the Blade Storm do get committed. Two ultimates use this round, but no, the shotgun blast misses. Godvexy and Ghost, they're both delivering all the frags.
Standing ahead.
Okay, never mind. Thanks. That ultimate didn't really do all that much work for them. And there you go. Godvexy's gonna be able to take out Edit 69, Edit 99, and that's gonna be it. Batman gonna get that final kill on Binks in a flawless round for Enigma here. Great stuff by them, and I think this is really gonna hurt the side of the esports team because they did commit to buying weaponry that round. So yeah, they're not gonna have a good buy going into this one either. Maybe we see a Marshall here, a Phantom there, but all of them are not going to have the money needed to buy, the top tier weaponry. They could force it, but I don't think it's in their best interest. That would completely destroy their economy.
That execute from TET left a lot to be desired. They took it slow. They stayed towards the spawn. They never really took mid control.
Yeah.
And after all of that was done, they went towards A. After not showing presence anywhere. So Enigma were able to read it. Like it wasn't even difficult for them. So they need to do a lot more if they want to sell these fakes. Or if not sell fakes, at least just execute into the sites as quickly as possible. This time Sammy taking matters into his own hands, dashing into the side using the cloud burst, hoping that he will be able to clear out all the angles. But the Hunter's Fury comes through. Does it stop the plant from happening? No, it doesn't. At least he's able to get a kill. Ghost also picks up one more, and Godvexy with the second with the Hunter's Fury. That is impressive. Fox will be taken down on A because he's been trying to lurk towards that position quite often. We saw it in the previous round as well, how Enigma were preparing for this B retake and Fox came in from A link. Yeah, he tried to do the same thing this time around, but Godvexy was over there. He was the one shooting the Hunter's Fury from A, and he intercepted Fox as well. So not only do they get multiple kills on the back of that ultimate, but they're also able to figure out that Fox will try to lurk around every time. And now that they've intercepted him twice, they will be better prepared for it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the esports team should sort of have an idea of how exactly Enigma are running their defense now. I mean, they've pretty much been doing the same thing. Hiccup plays towards mid. If he sees presence towards mid, he's going to continue playing there. But if they start making their way towards A, he walls off shot in a bit of an awkward way. Just creates an angle for him, I think. That's what I saw him do the last time around. But maybe this time things are going to be different because none of them are taking any mid control whatsoever. They're all perched up outside A. They're going to flash themselves in towards Binks, and they might be able to find Godvexy, but Godvexy's good for one before being taken out. Sammy, sure, he's got the trade, but the rotations are going to start coming through. Until then, though, it's all on to Hika, and if Hika gets taken out, that's no resurrection being available for them. Ezzy pushing forward, he might be able to find Fox over here. Fox is too busy checking his camera towards mid. The tripwire is going to protect him, but Ezzy, he's waiting, he's patient, he's aware, but Fox knows as well. He's going to be able to get the kill, and there's a new touch coming through. We'll see where is it that the esports team decide to push in. Hika, he's going to just commit the ultimate, and there you go. He's going to be able to go for 2 kills. That's enough. He's done enough, and that's a 2v2 situation being created for the team now. They still have the lockdown available on Enigma, and they could potentially use it to force out the side of the esports team when they do end up planting that spike. There you go. You can see the killjoy. Badman's getting in position. And Crips, I don't think this is anything that the side of the esports team can deal with. Maybe they can go into the corner, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Oh, no. Ghost was looking for that angle. He wanted these guys to get out of the side, which the lockdown will force them to do. But no smokes available on the side of Enigma, which means Badman's going to have to fight all of this one. He can win the duel against Sammy. The other player is detained, so maybe he can start a half defuse at least. He's trying to bait out the position of Fox, but he's just so keen on fighting. He's going to win it as well.
My God. I mean, yeah, you can't really do much in that position if you're the killjoy. If Ghost survived, they would have actually had a chance. Even if he didn't get killed, just having that, operator watching shot probably means that you can just defuse a spike without being worried about it. But a good attempt by Team Enigma nonetheless. The esports team, though, I mean, they're looking really solid as they managed to take this round. And now Enigma, they're probably going to start getting a little bit worried because the esports team, they are building a bit of an economy over here. Well, no, never mind. They're actually not building anything. I was looking at Team Enigma's economy, and they're doing really, really well. Well, let's see if the esports team are going to be able to take this round as well. This time, they're going to push it towards Garage again. Last time around, it didn't work out for them. And this time, they're going to spot out Badman. And yep, the Hunter's Fury is going to reveal him. He's going to get spammed into oblivion. Nothing he can do to save himself in that situation.
I must say that even with these one-dimensional pushes, TET looks fairly strong. Whenever they get the opening pick, they're able to convert it into a round victory. And so far, they have also been fairly successful in avoiding any backstabs from Enigma. So even though Enigma can get the read onto TET, they're not necessarily able to stop them in their tracks. This time, though, TET finally selling a fake, which might be very successful. Sammy creating as much noise as possible towards sewers, manages to draw out 2 people from Enigma towards A, which leaves B practically unattended. And C only guarded by 1 player. That's going to be Ezzy. and he's got a lot of players headed his way. 2 stars might just be able to keep him safe for a little bit, but he needs backup and he needs it now. Luckily, his backup has arrived in the form of Ghost. That's the operator. But he's going to line one up. One more player right around the green box, dashes to safety, and he's able to turn to the classic. Sammy will win the duel with the Vandal in his hand, but he's dinked down to 72 HP, which means 2 bullets from any gun should be able to kill him. And he doesn't know where the 2 remaining players are. The time is ticking down. He needs to plant the spike and get away with it. No dash available, which means he's going to get traded. Well, trade won't even be required, as Hika alone is enough to take him down.
Oh yeah, and they're going to be able to recover the operator. Great hold by both the Astra as well as Ghost, just with the operator, both getting 2 kills each, shutting down that push entirely. And I feel like that's very important to have, that's a very important quality to have in an Astra. Many times you'll see Astras just resign themselves to throwing down utility for their team, and then just be like, guys, that's my job, I just throw utility. But no, I mean, you can see that Ezzy is a lot more active on his Astra. He will peak, he will make those plays, and he will, make you question as to how he's going to be running an area. So in the back of your mind, you're always afraid that, okay, well, we can't be assured that Ezzy is playing super defensively because this guy does like to peek. And that does end up bothering you somewhere or the other. Godvexy again with that recon is going to be able to scout out A main and not see anyone. And this time the Ghost actually had the operator. He's cleaned out that area as well. Hika's going to try to bait someone in, spots out the Cypher, so they should probably know now that this is not a setup for A. But okay, Sammy goes forward with a knife, takes out Ghost. It's only going to be Batman surviving here. The Hot Hands is going to force him to get the hell out of there. But Godvexy with the ult is going to be able to find Edit 99. Can he find a second tag? The answer is going to be no. But so far, he's equalized man advantage.
Yeah, that Hunter Shuri coming in from A-Link kind of indicates that there will be a player present over there. But Sammy finds Hika as well. He knows Godvexy is present over there himself, so that was a bonus kill. And he turns around to get the kill onto Ezzy. Godvexy, though, catches on that timing and stabs them in the back. Binks and the operator both taken down. But the positions from Fox and Battler, really good stuff. Battler with that one tap. That's going to delete the remaining players of Enigma and somehow bring the round back. But I must say, there are a few things that Enigma Gaming are doing time and time again, which basically lets TET walk away with all these B plants for free. They don't play very aggressively towards mid. That's what Enigma is failing on. They do make up for it by going aggressively towards sewers, sometimes even by pushing C long, but the lack of mid aggression from Enigma basically allows TET to take garage control and mid control every time. But now that I say it, the moment I said it, Enigma changed it.
Oh yeah.
They haven't been playing aggressively on mid any time before this, but now they decide to push out. This could be the change that Enigma have been looking for, but it might be a bit too late because Binks is already committed towards the C site. He's taken down Ghost as well. Unfortunately, the backstab might not arrive in time, and there is a lurker in the form of Fox who might be able to stop this, but the trades just keep on happening towards C, and they haven't been able to stop the lurks. Batman and Hika are already behind them. That means they've got no post-plant positions available. This could be disastrous if they don't check them in time.
But the smoke comes through in the nick of time. Batman though still might be able to get one kill. Godvexy is going to find one, and now it's all down to Hika in a 1v2 situation. He could get the rest of 2 points, but what good is that really? Fox is going to come in and take him out, and that's the end of that. A very even half, or rather first half coming out in this map on Haven. The Esports team really bringing the aggression, but now it's Enigma's turn. And man, I mean, it doesn't really look like that Sage worked out for them as they were hoping it would.
Yeah, I did not even see a lot of creative walls come out from Hika. Did we? I mean...
Yeah, we just saw him wall shot a couple of times and wall be a little bit late. And I think they got stuck in that trap of playing a bit too defensively on a map like Haven.
Exactly. Like, they were making up for it by aggressing towards sewers every time. They sent Ghost down there a couple of times, and every time Ghost was not present over there, Hika walls off shot. So that's there. Sometimes they push out C-Long as well, but the lack of mid-aggression basically gives so much room to TET. The one round in which Enigma tried to go for mid-aggression, that was in the last round of the half, and it was a bit too late.
Oh yeah. Well, this time around we'll see what sort of approach Enigma take, whether they've, whether they like to do things a little bit differently given the fact that they have 2 Sentinels. I like what TET did though. They just literally just yoinked Enigma's own strat out of their book. A little bit different because they don't have the Sage, but essentially it's the same thing. It's the Jet going up towards that sewers area, trying to get that first peek, get some information, edit, loses an entire clip but doesn't take out the owl, unfortunately. Not like it matters though, because it only got them information of that one player. playing towards that area. But look at the position Ezzy's found himself towards C long. They could create an opening over here. Fox is too busy watching his cameras for the moment, and he hasn't seen Coast pushed up that far. But look at the position Binks is in as well. So defensive that Recon is gonna probably reveal him. He tries to peek out with the frenzy, but gets taken out, and now it's all down to Fox. Batman's gonna take him out as well. 2 quick kills going the way of Enigma, and the side is busted wide open. Can they hold on to it though? That's the question. Edit with the shock dart is gonna do a lot of damage. Can he find a kill with it? No, he just deals a lot of damage, and that's gonna be it. He's gonna have to satiate himself with that for now. A 3v5 situation for the esports team. Not undoable, but definitely hard to do. Let's see what that Recon does. It's all going to come down to that.
Recon will reveal the player in the backside. That basically means Ghost is now trapped, but Badlove comes in to rescue him, and the rest of Enigma all pounce upon the players of TET. We never saw the wall in the first half, but now we are seeing it in post-mount situations, which basically shuts out Garage. They've got a bunch of nanoswarm grenades to delay the push from the defender entrance as well. And the fake, oh my god, that fake. God Vexy committed one owl drone towards Sewers. Not even a player on the back of it. They never had to commit bodies, but it kept 3 players of TET gathered on the A side. That was a wrong gamble. The 2 players on C were able to do a little bit of damage, but no kills, turning it into an easy 3v5 post-mount situation for Enigma.
Oh yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but actually we might want to hold off on just judging them a bit too quickly, because they did lose the first 2 rounds early in the half as well, and then proceeded to make a pretty good comeback, even things out here. So maybe, just maybe, they still have a chance. It's not going to be in this round though. If they do win this one, they are going to be so happy though, because it's going to be some big wins. There's a Vandal available onto Coast if they're able to take him out. And yeah, in that position, they're going to be super happy with what they find. But given the fact that the side of Enigma are only looking to get Ghost over here, they're basically just trying to make sure that he's in a good position to cut off any rotations that might come in from towards A main. Look at Batman in Ezzy's position. My goodness, they're so far out, and now Binks is trapped.
How are they catching all these players off guard? It's like Enigma are able to walk into all of the map for absolutely free. They've got players deep into C site, they've got players deep into B site, and they have players in A link. They're all over the map, and TET have no idea. It's not like one position was leaked. Literally every position was leaked, and almost everyone, 3 out of the 5 players on the side of TET were caught off guard.
Yeah, and I think the esports team, this is something that you probably need to do a little bit more homework on to figure out how is it that Enigma like to play him, because they've been doing this forever, right? They just try to get Ghost in a good position to get that lurk going, and then Batman is pushing up B. You know, you have Ezzy pushing up towards C. Maybe you can cut them some slack because it is, you know, it was an eco round by them. It was a save, but still, just having those reads can sometimes give you some sort of an edge. Maybe if they actually knew that Ghost likes to push up over here, they could have gotten that man down. But now Ghost, he's setting his eyes towards B. He's already he dashed in with the cloud burst, and the wall is going to prevent them from actually being able to get the plant cancelled. Bad luck. Bit of an awkward take back of the star there. Convexy is waiting for him. Can he find the kill? Yes, he can, and that's an upgrade for him if he decides to go forward. And now SS Sammy is going to continue to hold on. Still a 4v4 situation. As Hika did get taken out in the midst of all that drifts, but still, time is ticking. They need to get moving. They need to go inside if they want to have a chance of taking this round back.
I want to look at Ezzy's position because he's trying to come in from Garage. Even though the players of TET will be able to breach this B site open, I think it's all going to be down to Ezzy, and his flank now comes in the nick of time to get the kill onto Fox. It's just Sammy left, and he's got 2 places to watch. Turns around, and Godvex, he shoots him in the back of the head at the right time. That is basically Team Enigma borrowing a page from the books of TET. They went in for that B-side execute, and none of the players of TET were present on the actual side itself. They were present towards A-Link and C-Link respectively, which got shut down by the Nebula. And then when they tried to spam through the Nebulas, through the smokes, a barrier orb came into its C-Link. They had the Molotov go into its A-Link, which means they can plant the spike without getting contested, get into post-plant positions, and then also set up a backstab on Ezzy on the back of that. So they've got a backstab upon a backstab, a double layer one over there, and there's just no way that TET can deal with that.
And one of the bigger problems is the fact that because the heroes are because the agents are so defensive on the side of Enigma, it's really hard to take back that B site once you get on top of it. You know, you have Astro Smokes, you have Sage Slow Orbs, you've got the wall going in. Sure, Hika got taken out, but still, there's a good chance for them. Ezzy, That tripwire is very awkwardly placed by Fox. It could have gotten him off guard, but he's not going to get caught off guard. He goes the other way around, takes out Fox. Binks might be good for one, though. And there you go, takes out Ghost. One tap, one kill. But Badman is coming in to give him the same treatment, and there you go. Binks is going to be taken out here. 4v1 situation. Nothing that a lone Astra can do. Probably going to be taken out. Oh, okay. Bad Love shows him
Why?
Done. Vandal given over. A real chance.
Why?
He kill as well. A 1v2 situation. He could make this happen, but he just has 1 star remaining, Crips. Cosmic Divide available though. And so is the Killjoy Ultimate. So really, this is just about how many kills Bad Love can get. He's going to try to bait them out to peek over here. The drone's going to go in, spot out that Bad Love is just faking. There you go. Batman is in position to take him out. And that's the end of that.
I have a bone to pick with Ezzy. Had a Vandal in his hands, decided to switch over to a Sheriff instead. Why? Probably wanted to... yeah, style points. I mean, he's up against an Astra. He wants to show some Astra diff. Wants to one-tap them out of existence with the Sheriff. No, son. I mean, if he gave away that Vandal to Bad Love, and Bad Love is a player capable of clutching. He's got the Cosmic Divide, which means he can shut down both Garage and C-Long and start diffusing the spike. Like, they're gonna have to physically show up to kill him. Maybe a shock dart can come through the Cosmic Divide if you try to go for the full diffuse over there. But why do you want to take that risk in the first place?
Hey, I mean, sometimes, you just do it for content, you do it for Instagram, you're just like, yeah, this is gonna look good on my highlight reel. But maybe this is not the best place to get content, especially in a competitive match with lakhs and lakhs of rupees on the prize, on the line here.
In the lower bracket too.
In the lower bracket, exactly. This is elimination. But, hey, that doesn't stop them from deploying that Killjoy ult. Now, there is a position towards heaven that they're gonna have to clear. And I think Edit is gonna be waiting to, just hear that spike being planted, or at least think where that spike is gonna be planted. Try and get a kill. One player ended up getting DT'd, and Fox is gonna find a kill through the smoke. That spike being taken out, and Hika has been eliminated. Badman will still get it down though. A 5v4 situation, not the easiest one in the world. And then Europe somehow came through, so now they know every single place that Enigma are holding. Binks is gonna go forward with the run it back. Well, he doesn't really have... Okay, that is the run it back committed, and he did find one kill with it. Batman gonna get double peek. Nothing he can do with that situation. It's all down to Ghost, and Ghost, well, he can't turn around and do 180s that quickly. That's gonna be the end of him and the end of Enigma as they get taken out over here. A 7th round on road for the Esports team, and a much needed one at that.
God, Vexy was kind of trapped over there in an awkward spot. He needed to peek, but it wasn't entirely necessary. He could have stayed over there and hoped that his crossfire that the teammates have set up was going to be enough to shut down anyone else who came through. And then he could have peeked late. Him giving up that opening frag and everyone else deciding to fight TET while they were on their retake is kind of unorthodox to me. Yeah, of course, the neural theft does reveal all their positions, and I understand that they were kind of trapped in that position. They felt like they needed to fight. But the crossfires were good enough from Enigma. They could have just decided to hold over there. The lack of a player inside that left-hand side corner might be exactly what Vexy was tempted to go for. But this spike carrier being killed over here will change things up.
Oh, yeah.
At least they'll be able to retrieve it. It's not dropped in a location from where the spike cannot be retrieved. So they're going to get back. They have left Ezzy on the Nebula. He's looking to enter the B site. And there's only Fox to deal with him over here.
I love Fox. I mean, just look at the tripwire setup and then him constantly changing things up.
Cage triggered.
Well, he's gonna find one kill on the back of that Crips, and now the tripwire is gonna find a second one as well. Fox off for his team. Bad Love's gonna come and help him out, and it's just gonna be Ghost in a 1v4 situation. We've seen him get 4Ks before, but this is almost impossible to get. Or is it? He's gonna find one. He's gonna find a second one as well, and still fairly healthy. He needs to turn around because he could get beat from behind. That Owl is gonna scout things out. It doesn't tag him though, and that's what's important. Once again, he's gonna bait the opponent to try and peeking him, but Edit is not gonna bite it just yet. He's gonna wait for Sammy to do the work. Sammy, not really too keen on pushing out with the operator just yet. Of course, is he gonna peek? Oh, he is, but he misses. Sammy's not gonna be able to take him out. That's a little bit, it's a dink and a half on Sammy, I think. And Coast, well, he might be able to fight Edit as well. He needs one more kill to take this round. And look at that. Sammy, he's changed his position up completely. Ghost does not know that he is towards the defender spawn area. He's still
10
faking that
seconds left.
spike. He has 8 seconds remaining on the clock, and he's finally gonna plant it. And Sammy, he's gonna take the time to go
Spike
forward with the
planted.
frenzy. Maybe catch him off guard. No! He misses! The operator is at the ready though. And Sammy, now it's his turn to fake.
Get out of my
Jet
way.
versus Jet. Play some activated. He jumps up, but Sammy plucks him out of the sky. That's how you win a round. And with this, TET have put together 2 rounds in a row. They retrieve the operator as well, which means they're going to be able to save it and start building their economy. Good stuff from TET. They needed this round desperately. But I love the way how Ghost was able to bait out all these fakes. He was able to somehow lure out the Sova into his traps, and unfortunately it wasn't enough for him to clutch out the round, but still keeping himself calm in that situation is what matters.
I mean, not much Ghost could do in that situation. Maybe if he had a little bit more time and things weren't so, taken quickly, he could have probably gone towards B and gotten the plant off. But in those kind of situations, it's really hard to think on your feet. I mean, you're trying to predict where 4 people are going to peek you from. That's a task in and of itself.
Yeah.
And now, Ghost, he's going to make things a little bit simpler. He's going to be like, guys, I'm going to walk up B. If I get a pick, we get the plant, we fall back, and we let our utility do the work for us. There you go. He's going to completely avoid the tripwire. That might actually set up Fox to get a second kill over here. Hika is going to be spotted. And there you go. Biggs is going to go forward and get that kill. Ghost trying to get the trade. First will whiff, but then will succeed. And he gets that second kill. But Edit is going to be able to take out Badman planting the spike. He does injure Bad Love with his ult for the time being. But that's going to be all right because the plant has been stopped. It's a 2v4 situation. Enigma, not much they can do here.
Yeah, and the spike has been put down in a very awkward position too. They need the Nebulas to make sure that they can retrieve it in a safe manner. But I don't think that Ezzy has anything left. Maybe the drone can tag someone. He has to peek try. And he walks into that crossfire. Everyone converges upon God Vexy. That is not how you go for a B
Cage
take.
triggered.
Edit once again pulling off a page off of God Vexy's book as he was able to use that Hunter's Fury and deny the plant towards B. Unfortunately, even after somehow Enigma lost that one spike planter, they were not able to get the other players to safety in time to dodge that Hunter's Fury. And while they were just so busy dodging the big bad laser beams, everyone else on the side of TET peeked them at the same time. Fox came through. Sammy, he continued to deliver. Even Binks, after getting taken down, it kind of indicates how he's very keen on pushing through the Nebulas that Ezzy is able to put up and pick up these frags for himself because he knows that all he needs to do is disrupt Enigma as much as possible. That's what Binks did. That's what the Sova also did. And once the spike is down, they know that Enigma will not be able to retrieve it because they've already used up their Nebulas, already used up their smokes. Now they have no cover left.
I mean, I just want to take a moment to point out Sammy's and Fox's performance because I think these guys have been absolutely key in making sure that the esports team actually stands a chance against Enigma. On offense, it was Sammy. On defense, too, he had some very good rounds. But Fox with these tripwire setups, man, time and time again, just changing things up and keeping them guessing. It's becoming so hard for the side of Enigma to predict where he's going to be next. And every single time, that tripwire is just chiming in. Every single round, it's getting them a kill. And you can see that, just keeping them on their toes as a Cypher. The Enigma, they just, a little bit, they're flustered. They don't know how they have to deal with this Cypher. And how to, get on site and get that spike down.
Yeah, and his traps are deadly on A and C. He's been able to get kills with the Trapwire and the Cypher Cage combination every time. This time, Enigma don't have much to lose, just a bunch of Sheriffs and Spectres, so they're gonna walk in dry. No Nebula's committed just yet. One down towards the ceiling just now. But they're not going towards B instead. No, sir, no. They're going towards A-Link. Oh, and unfortunately, everyone on TET is prepared for this. Enigma also realized this trap and they decided to plunge towards the B side instead of fighting. But the players are still committed.
Wow, that is a lot of space created by Ghost. Even though he ended up losing his life, this is absolutely worth it. They've planted the spike, they've gotten the wall down, and they have the res as ready. They find another kill. Yeah, that backstab does not come through. He gets taken out, and now it's going to be a hard one here. They have the Hunter's Fury at the ready, but this is not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. Well, at least they forced out an ultimate here from the side of the esports team, so that's good for them. They have the Hunter's Fury at the ready as well, and they're just going to use it to buy as much time as possible. Remember, this is an eco round for them. They're not really looking to win this one, they're just looking to make sure that they're able to get a few kills, make the side of the esports team bleed. But do they have time? They do.
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah, that almost looked really good for the side of Team Enigma. But nonetheless, they got the spike down. They bought a lot of time. They almost clutched out this round. Had that backstab worked, like you mentioned, I think you'd be looking at a completely different round.
Yeah, but I love the fact how both the teams were able to get a good read on each other. Enigma decided to commit towards the B to A push. That's a very risky strategy, going via the link to go towards A later on. Yeah, it does not work out because unfortunately TET had 3 people stationed on the A side, and that's no surprise because TET have been stacking up the A side very often. Enigma realized that and decide to counter it by planting towards B instead. They've got the area controlled, so why not? Why do you want to go for those fancy maneuvers? And then they sent Ezzy on a backstab, something that Fox had been doing for the side of TET. Both the teams borrowing pages out of each other's books, and they were able to read that backstab as well. This time, again, it's a C stack. They've got 1 player positioned inside Garage. That's going to be Sammy, and 2 players on C. That's going to be Fox and Binks. Recon Dot will be destroyed instantly. No information given out. Both the cages have been triggered. They're just waiting for the tripwires to be triggered. But no, Hika knows exactly where Fox will be. Very common position once that cyber cage is put up. It creates a little bit of a one-way, and Hika was aware about this. All of that has been dealt with, but Binks has to run it back. He can probably use it to disrupt. Will he commit it though? Spike has been planted. They have a lockdown available as well to make sure that they can hold the forces of TED back for just a little bit.
Probably not the round to commit your comment back. You know, 2v5 situation against a res as well. But Binks is going to use it nonetheless, and he's going to get gravity well. He's going to get concussed. His body is just useless. It does nothing over here. A flurry of kills come up for Enigma, as they don't even have to use their Sage and their Astra ultimate. Just the KJ one is enough to get them the round, and now the esports team, all the economy that they've built up, it's going to start coming in use because they're going to need to buy this round, and yeah, they have the money to do so. Let's try and even out the scoreline once again.
Yep, I love this from Team Enigma. Instead of going for their standard split push approach and going for information gathering, they just straight up go for the C commitment right off the bat. And it's these versatile plays that keep Enigma a very hard team to read.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they go in for the slow play, sometimes it's all fast. This time again, they're going back to their defaults. You've got Ezzy just outside of C. You've got Badman breaking the tripwires on Garage. You can already see how Sammy wanted to intercept Badman, but he's already out of this area. And Ghost will be able to get the kill onto Edit. No! He failed! And the gravity well helps Badlove get the kill onto Hika. This is all falling apart. Enigma Gaming had the advantage to some extent. They had the information. They should have been able to pick up all the kills, but it just did not go in their favor as they lose the aim duels. Oh, imagine having all the brain but no brawn. That's what happened to Enigma this time around. And Sammy this time will be able to op out Ezzy. Everything's falling apart. It's just Badman and Godvexy left.
Oh man, I know that the Sage ultimate was nerfed and now it requires 8 points, but still we just haven't seen Heka use that res enough times in this match here. And now it's a 2v5 situation, almost impossible unless Badman can do something about it. Oh, he won't even get the first kill, and that's a spike falling down here. All down to Godvexy, alone Sova, alone Russian man, who's eating his own shotguns from his nemesis, and Edit is also gonna take him out. Just hammer that final name in his coffin, and there you go. A missed spray, a lost round. Enigma, they are going to be kicking themselves for that. That was their round to lose.
Yeah, that was their round to lose, but at least they did something right. At least they were able to get all the information correctly on time, which should have, in a perfect world, allowed them to pick up the kills and win the round. But what can I say? These guys on the side of TET are just so good with their guns. Badlove and Edit, both of them getting kills which they had no business getting. They win these duels in the most unorthodox fashion, and that is what keeps TET alive for now. Once again, a very similar setup as last round. Badman making his presence felt on mid, deliberately giving out those sound cues while 2 players try to sneak in from A long. Spike hasn't been committed just yet, so that's one good thing. Last time Enigma lost the spike too, and that basically is when the round crumbled. But unlike the A stack that TET went for last time, they've got basically nobody over here. Edit is also not playing to pick up any frags. He's just here to act as an early information system. Yeah, unfortunately, that early information won't be of any use as most of Enigma are in the site already.
Oh my god, Coach just barely avoided that Vandal shot. He's not going to be able to stay alive and get himself into a good position. But yeah, I mean, they just pretty much gave that A side for free, and now it's going to be the Astra on the lurk to try and fight out against Binks. Who's going to win this duel? That's the question. Well, Eddie's going to be able to take out Binks, and that is the lurk cut off. Now he can just pull his knife out and run towards the side and help his team out. Goes in a very good position. Good enough for one kill. Is he good enough for the second one? No, he's just going to dash out and just, ask Hiccup for the heal. He has it at the ready, but he's not really too keen on taking it out as of now. But Ghost, he's going to go forward. 5 HP, he's going to get 2 kills. What the hell just happened?
I had no idea, man. Ghost was able to line all of them up. Good counter-strafing by Ghost as he's able to get into that wooden cover in time and still connects those shots.
Oh, yeah.
The mechanical superiority on Ghost is just on a whole new level. Picks up 3 kills. One was a pretty cheeky kill, so can't discount that. But the other 2 at 7 HP, that is just impressive stuff. We praised how TET is winning their aim duels in the previous round, but this time Ghost says that he has the capability of pulling those out as well. This time Binks wants to take matters into his own hands. Does blind Badman, but won't be able to get the kill onto him. Now you will see a very aggressive TET towards mid, as Sammy also wants to push out with the operator. They've been lacking this mid aggression all this time. The one time Badman decided to push towards Garage and try to go for a fake, Sammy was late for the kill. And this time, Enigma are well aware that TET will get desperate. They are well aware that TET will try to fight them right off the bat. That's why you can see they're playing so passively.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if they lose this round, they pretty much lose the game. But Ghost, he is just going to try to walk forward. Gets to be with a spy cam dart, but that's okay. It's a spy cam dart. So he's going to be able to take that off. But this is actually a fake. They've successfully managed to fake them out. And Ghost is even going to get a kill. On top of that, the A side is completely open, and Enigma, they just outbrained and outfought the side of the esports team. The wall's gonna come through, the plant's gonna go down, and my goodness, the esports team, now they're gonna realize what the hell just happened.
Oh my god, they've been bamboozled. Ghost was sent there just to sell the fake, but he ended up buying the whole farm. Picks up a kill through the smoke, which was never supposed to be his in the first place. And now he's going to be playing as the Lurk. He will try to shut down the players of TET as they're trying to enter in from this defender spawn, but that Cosmic Divide might just make things a little awkward. Hicka getting taken down without using his ultimate. Well, he never needed to, so that's okay. There is no crossfire this time for Badman. He's only got an alarm bot to help him out. Maybe the players from short can help him out, but now Ghost is in prime position and he will strike soon. He picks up one. Oh, the Cosmic Divide does keep Bad Love alive for a little bit longer, but Badman will put him in his grave. Sammy and Fox starting to win these fights, but the bomb is about to go off, and that is it. Enigma Gaming win the game. It was a little difficult and it got a little too close for comfort, but Enigma bring it back in the last 2 rounds.
Right off the bat, I need to commend the esports team. They absolutely made it close. Enigma, somehow they're able to inch them out in those final few rounds, but my goodness, did the esports team make them sweat. I mean, some of those rounds were absolutely insane by them. Every single player on the side of the esports team delivered. Unfortunately, when it really came down to the wire, Enigma, their mental constitution, it just held them so much more. And that brilliant fake that they set up towards the end to catch the esports team off guard. Not much you can do. You only get one opportunity. You only get one opportunity to sort of even things out over here. And when it mattered the most, Enigma, they were able to edge them out.
Exactly. Enigma were the more calm, composed team over here, which we expected them to be, but I never expected TET to put up a fight like this. I mean, tactical-wise, they were still not the stronger team over here, but there were just so many rounds where TET, simply on the basis of their raw firepower, were able to pull things back.
Oh, yeah.
So many clutches, so many frags which were never supposed to be theirs, and TET are just making Enigma sweat, even after having all the information, even after having all the advantage. Enigma were just sometimes not able to click heads, and TET did it really, really well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at the match highlights and fact trips. Let's see exactly what went wrong for the esports team, because a lot went right for them too. But towards the end, it's just that something went off for the esports team, unfortunately, and something turned on for Team Enigma. I mean, I have to say, usually I don't like it when people pick the Sage and they are a little bit shy to use the wall, but Hika is actually putting a bit of a new twist on that Sage. They're really using that Sage instead to not really allow them to get into a side, but rather hold on and buy time. And that last round was just that. I mean, sure, in these early few rounds, you can say that, oh, that Sage didn't do all that much and didn't look too impressive. But towards the end, look at those walls that came in from Hika. I mean, they bought them time. They bought them, a lot of crucial seconds. And in these sorts of situations, having a Sage on your team can actually be somewhat better than having a duelist, because I mean, when you have a brain as big as Enigma's and you're constantly faking them out and pretty much getting on site for free, I don't think you need all those flashes. I don't think you need all those duelists.
Yeah, Hika was acting like a battle sage today. He usually put up the wall on a shot whenever Ghost was not playing over there. But on the attacking side, rather, he used his walls to delay the retake from the side
Yeah.
of TET. There were so many instances where they were just getting barrier robbed in the face, and those were some pretty aggressive walls too, capturing a lot of space for his team. You remember that one round where they were able to get all the way from B to its A link? Yeah. That wall was not exactly great because you can climb up on top of the box and still jump up on that one. But still, it just disrupts you so much. And
Yeah,
Hika being that disruptor was just crucial for his team because so many times he was able to just put TET in a very awkward spot which they were just not prepared for.
Yeah, and look at this round, the one that just went ahead on our screens. I mean, that round was so crucial for Enigma. The way Ezzy was able to get 2 kills, I think that completely changed the game, or at least the face of the game. It got them to 6 rounds. It made sure that the esports team can't really have the advantage. And finally, the esports team were able to even things out as Fox's performance was just very, very solid here on this map. And I think both Sammy and Fox, I mean, if they keep this up, then Bind could get really, really hard for Enigma. Yesterday they really struggled against the side of Global Esports. Yes, I mean, I did say earlier that, it's Global Esports that they're playing against, so it's likely that they struggle. But even then, I mean, if this is how, I mean, the esports team have played Haven, I don't think the Enigma squad can actually contest them on Bind. I think it's going to be very hard fought and very difficult. The one thing they'll have working in their favor is that they're starting out on defense, and given the fact that they're a very cool, calm, and collected team, they should be able to sort of see what the esports team is going to do on that attacking half.
Yeah, but I think esports team needs to be more focused on their defense in a map like Bind. You see, in Haven, they were playing very passively. The one time that they decided to play very aggressively was towards mid, and they were not able to capitalize on the back of it. So TET need to start playing a little bit more aggressively on their defense because not just because they want to get the kills, they need to be able to gather that information. And somehow Enigma are just denying them all this information, and that's why they are at the mercy of Enigma's takes. Like, usually the defenders are responsible for dictating when the fight happens, and the attackers are responsible for dictating where it happens.
Yeah,
This time, they're letting Enigma dictate both.
I agree, and I feel like a big reason behind that is sort of the awkward composition. I mean, this it's really hard for me to like or dislike what Enigma have done this game. I'm so I'm on both sides of the fence at once with this, because on one hand, that Sage, I mean, yeah, you've got 8 points, but that resurrection, it never really did all that much for them. And when ultimates aren't used that well, I'm a little bit bothered. I like ultimates to have that extra impact, that extra oomph.
Yeah,
But
but they never. But it was
yeah,
never needed. Even in this round where Ghost was able to pick up that double kill,
yeah.
Hika did not heal him. On 7 HP, he pulled it off, which kind of made it even more special because of that. And then
Yeah.
the backstab from Ghost. I must say, Ghost was a menace for TET this time around. He's picking
Oh
up
yeah.
kills through the smokes, he's backstabbing them, he's picking up entry frags as well. Like, he starts out as an entry fragger and then turns into the lurk. And that transition is just so flawless.
Yeah, I mean, he's like that one kid you always compare yourself to in class, and every single time you think you have something good going
Sharabaji ka
for you,
beta.
exactly, that guy just one-ups you. You get really good at studies, you finally able to match his marks in chemistry. Well, you just found out that he's been playing the guitar for 7 years and you don't know any musical instrument. You just learned the
Yeah.
guitar. Well, he's already cleared, I don't know, some university examination. He's going to IIT next. And that's what Ghost was in this game, pretty much. Just like you mentioned, an annoying pest.
Yeah, maybe that guitar can help him sing the songs of death in Bind as well. But we're going to be going to that map after a teensy tiny break, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go anywhere. Go grab some snacks, grab your lunch, and come back in time for the next map. You guys are watching the LG Ultragear presents TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. Hey guys, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. We have just finished the first map. Haven went in the favor of Enigma. It was a little close, but still they were able to pick it up. Now we're going to be heading to Bind, which happens to be the map pick of TET.
Yeah, I was almost sweating at the end of Haven because I was like, oh man, chat's gonna come after me for this. My Insta is gonna be flooding with DMs. But thankfully, Enigma were able to close it out in the nick of time before it got to overtime. So yeah, but the esports team, the fact that they made me sweat really tells me that Bind is not gonna be as straightforward as I think it was gonna be. And yeah, I can't wait to see what the esports team can do because Sammy and Fox were looking so good, especially Fox. I mean, his defense, I think there were like 4 rounds in a row where every single one of his tripwires, well, not every single one, but a tripwire of his always got them a kill. And yeah, when you have a Cypher who's always switching things up like that, it's almost impossible to just walk into a site without losing a limb or two. And I think in those kinds of situations, all you can really do is just spam every single wall you see, or just be a Cypher player yourself and have an idea of what the setups are like, so you can just take out those tripwires and make life a little bit easier. Because with the new update, the Jet herself can't really break those tripwires. So even though you're gonna have Core stashing in, if he gets caught by that tripwire, he is screwed.
Yeah, and the fact that he was able to activate his cyber cages in time to shoot people through them, that is also really, really impressive. Going into Bind, though, I do feel like a Killjoy is more suited than a Cypher, but it really just depends on the comfort of the player. If you can play a Cypher aggressively, then you will be able to gather information a lot faster, especially against a team like Enigma that can be useful because they do like to split up quite a lot and try to cover as much ground as possible to maybe set up fakes, even double fakes. TT don't really do that, but then that was the old TT that I knew. Today, what I'm seeing is something completely different. They're able to win duels really well. Sometimes TET get the read wrong, but every time they are correct, they are making sure that they convert that round into a win. And if that is kept up in Bind as well, I feel like TET will be able to win their half, win the whole map as well, and maybe push us into the third map.
Oh yeah, I mean, TET is like that wild beast that is just starting to become a little bit more civilized, learning when to use his beastly instincts for good. And I feel like that's what they've really been doing this entire time. Once they have an idea, once they are able to execute onto a site, they just keep punching it time and time again, and they break through brick walls, they break through cement, and they're just able to go in and get that site for themselves, even though it might be a little bit messy. But for now, the agent select screen is ready, and that's going to tell us a lot about how the esports team are going to play Bind, because Bind is definitely their map to lose. And look at that. Pinks, right off the bat, just picks up the race. But once again, Enigma looking to prioritize that Sentinel Sage over getting themselves, something like a secondary entry frag, or something like a Reyna or a Phoenix that teams do like to run, or even a Raze. And this time around, God Vexy, he's not going to be playing the Sova. He's playing the Sky. a very interesting change up from them, and that too an all-female team coming in from Enigma. I don't know, just want to point that out.
Diversity for the mix. But God, Vexy picking up the Sky means that he's gonna have a lot more ability to gather information and even heal his teammates up. Now they've got 2 healers, so that is amazing. But the lack of raise on the side of Enigma does make me a little concerned because Bind happens to be the home turf of Raze. That's where she's best used. On the side of TET, though, Sammy and Binks, both of them picking up duelists. Sammy on the Chet, Binks on Raze, which means now they've got 2 characters that can cover ground really, really
Choose your
quickly.
agent.
Yep.
They should be able to get into these sites very fast. And this is the kind of hot and heavy, execute heavy setup that I was expecting from a team like TET. They like their momentum and they want characters that can be really, really fast. You combine that with the recon dot from Edit and maybe a little bit of well-timed gravity pull from Badlove, and that will be the perfect concussion, the perfect Molotov cocktail that they need to brute force their way into Enigma Gaming's territory. The Raze and the Jet are going to have to coordinate really well with the utility of Sova and Badlove to actually make their pushes effective.
Oh yeah. I think another thing that is very important on Bind is that if you're not running a lineup that looks like the Esports Team's lineup that has Raze in it, you really need flashes. And the way they decide to get those flashes is on the Sky, not on the Breach, which is what Global Esports have been doing. Their approach has been using the Breach. The Breach helps you clear a lot more angles than a Sky will, but the Sky is a bit more flexible that way. You know, you can throw out your Sparrow, you can maybe walk a little bit, cover more ground before having to peek. But the match is ready. We don't need to theorize. We just need to jump into the game and see for ourselves as to what's going to happen and what's not. As we move into this one, once again, Enigma starting out on defense, so them running the double sentinel lineup could pay them dividends on defense. But this is the pick of the Esports Team. The home Bind is their home turf, and they know how to make it work.
Oh. Can they make this one work though?
There.
TT slowly and surely creeping up towards both the bathrooms area
Leave that
and
back.
the A main area. Well, not creeping up A main, but they're just holding outside of it. And while a lot of that is happening, Ghost is already on the backstab. He will be caught with the turret, but maybe he can use the cloudburst to get ahead of it.
I'm curious, is the turret gonna spot him out if he crosses over? I think it. Yeah, I think it is. He doesn't
It
really
will.
have much of an option here, so he probably has to use that cloudburst. But the question is, does the cloudburst make sound that far enough to where Killjoy is? Well,
Yeah.
the Wolf is gonna spot a couple of people that should give Enigma all the information to work with, Crips. But Banks is gonna throw in his utility, and there you go. The push was gonna come through until the nanoswarm popped.
Yeah. Now the Nebulas have been committed. Sammy dashes in. And nobody has spotted him yet. Godvexy does blind him, but Sammy, when his eyes will open, Godvexy will be taken down. Badlove also picking off Ezzy. So the frags are going in the favor of TET for now. Badman trapped in a corner will eventually be put out of his misery by Badlove. And now there's only Hika and Coast left, and there's really not much that they can do. They're gonna have to wait for each other. Poor
Yeah.
Coast has been tagged up as well, which means he's probably gonna wait for the heal to come through.
Yeah, this round is almost done and dusted here. There's not much that they can do. The alarm bot's going to prevent Hika from pushing forward. That nanostorm's just going to make sure no one goes into labs. And now,
Player standing.
Hika, he tried to take a duel. He failed. Sure, Ghost got the trade, but he's in an impossible 1v4. This round is done and dusted. As long as Ghost finds another kill or two, he can maybe set himself up for a frenzy by next round, but that's all he can do. Well, he'll find Fox, and at this point, it's just about the frags. He's not going to be able to find much more after those two. Badlove's going to take him out, and that is the end of that. As the Esports Team, strong start on Bind for them. Well, let's see if they can continue this strong start, because it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to, go up against this double sentinel lineup when those Byrons eventually start kicking in. But for now, that can wait. All they really need to do is put this round on board for themselves. And if they can do it without losing any of their players, even better. If they can do it without taking any damage, that's about the dream situation. That's the best dream situation that they could possibly have. So, yeah, Enigma, let's see what they decide to do this time around. It's gonna be 3 people pushing up towards B main. Well, that push is gonna be cut in short for now because, yeah, they're not really gonna move in just yet. And Binks with that boom bot has occupied a big deal of hookup. And okay, there you go. Of course, he was good for one. Gets Sammy, but Badlove gets the trade. Hiccup with a classic burst. Going to take out Binks, but gets spotted in the end. Gets taken out by Edit 99. Well, that's going to be the end of that. Two players surviving, a 2v3 situation, no Spectres at the ready to be picked up, I think. And yeah, that should basically mean that Enigma, well, at best they can get some extra
One
frags.
enemy remaining.
But even that's
Oh,
not
not
going to
even
happen.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edit is able to make this one work. Clean round by TET. They keep 3 of their Spectres alive. Plenty of armor retained, which means they won't have to invest too much into this bonus round. Sammy
Oh.
and Binks, the 2 duelists, are the only ones that do pick up upgraded weapons. But Ghost is going for a glass cannon.
That is very interesting. Usually, I'm not a fan of, the sole operator. I don't really like that, but on an agent like Jed, I think if you can get that first pick, it's definitely worth it. The question is he even going to find it? Because he's trying to peek out towards Hookah and there's no one playing there. I mean, good read by Enigma because Binks always likes to push that on his race, but this time around, they're not making any plays there. They should have some information as to where the side of the esports team are. They should have an idea that they're all outside A, and you can see Hika is already rotated. He hasn't used the wall just yet, so they're going to have that at the ready to block off the push from A shot or wherever it is that he would like to wall. Most likely A shot. But there's still going to be a lot of time left on board for them to switch things up, and maybe then Ghost can chime in with the operator.
Yeah, so far neither of the players on Hookah or B Long have spotted anyone, which kind of indicates that this will be an A push from the side of TET, and all the utility from both the Astra and the Killjoy is present over here, which definitely should make things easy for Team Enigma to hold this back. More one-ways being committed, which means they can't really push in via B main, but now the Nebulas from the side of TET are starting to come through. Nade won't do much, but maybe that well-timed recon dart can reveal a couple of players through it. Oh yes, as he does get revealed, and Sammy shoots him through the wood, and he doubles up onto Hika. That's the opening that they were looking for. Batman still in the same position as last time. Will be able to get the kill onto Sammy, but he's trapped right now. Somehow gets the kill onto Binks as well, as they're both peeking him one by one. This could be disastrous. Badlove also will walk into the crosshairs of Batman, and they're just feeding into his crosshairs. This is disastrous. Batman single-handedly has turned this round around, but it's still a 3v2. Not that difficult, but now it is easy for TET to defend this one. Enigma struggling a little. Fox is able to bring it back, but God makes he the clutch master for this team. Once again stepping up. This was a very difficult and a very labored round. Both the teams made several mistakes over here.
Oh yeah. I mean, great round from the side of Enigma though to be able to pull that one back. Somehow Batman and just clutching it out. Even though it was a 3v2 situation, it was more like 2v2 because Ghost, he would have a really hard time being effective on the operator on a retake. But still, they end up winning that round. And yeah, now they have the Seekers at the ready. So good for them. Let's see if they are able to convert this into a significant advantage, because that was just the side of the esports team playing the bonus round, right? Wait, what? They don't have money this round. The players are running classics, and 3 of them have rifles in their hands. Okay, this is definitely weird. The good thing is that the Jet at least has the knives at the ready, and Sammy was completely whipped. Only lands 1 knife, and now he's going to pull out his classic to try and get a kill. He's whipping. He's taking out his knife. He's going for it. Turn it on with the classic and get the triple burst. Hiccup. He's going to be good for 1, but gets taken out by Fox. Now, it's all down to God Vex. Well, can he stop them? No, he cannot. Edit is going to get that first kill, and Ghost with the operator is the only thing standing between them and this B site. How many can he kill? Only on 30 HP, even a single classic. Well, not a single, maybe 2 classic shots could get him. He gets the first kill anyway. He's going to be able to dodge that Hunter Fury. And there you go, Edit is not going to be able to take him out as he gets another kill on Fox. And this buy has completely fallen apart on its head from the side of the esports team. Edit, maybe he can get the spike down, but that's all he can hope to do.
Oh, nice Ferrari peek. Gets the kill onto Ghost, but he was low on HP anyway. Now he still needs to kill Edit. Spots him out as he runs back. No problem, no problem. That recon dart will make sure that Ezzy won't be able to peek anytime sooner, but he can at least pull people inside, and that will make him vulnerable. 2 shots should be enough to take down Edit right now, but Ezzy will wait for his teammate to join. Batman is coming in as well. Both of them will drop down from Hookah. He needs to time this peek. First people dropping down, but as soon as one drops, Batman is covering him from above.
Oh yeah. Well, that's going to be the end of that. A risky move by the esports team, and it doesn't really pay off. Edit, he did get the spike down though, so at least they're going to be able to buy up some shares in the next round, or maybe a Marshall here and there. It might get them an opening kill to get the spike down once again, you know, just put a little bit more bandages on their economy. Just make sure that if they actually win around, they have the opportunity to snowball. But it's not going to do much else. If you look over to the side of Enigma, they have two ultimates at the ready. They have the Killjoy ult as well as the Jet ult. So they're going to be just fine for now. I mean, this round is completely in their bag, at least theoretically. But given what Ghost is trying to do in this round, I don't feel so confident about this. Okay, this is fine. If he can pick up the Astra and get away, that's all fine and dandy. But I don't think he should push any further. Oh my goodness! Banks just walks and it takes Ghost set clean off. Ezzy, he's gonna be using the gravity well to get one kill. That's good. Banks is gonna get taken out, but the operator might have to be conceded here. Batman is still defending it though with his life. And sure, he's gonna get 2 kills and get traded out, but Ezzy is still here and the operator hasn't been given over just yet. Only 2 players surviving now. This is about as good as it could have gotten after Ghost initially died for their team, but Sammy, he's gotten his hands on the operator. He might be able to do some magic with it.
Yeah, and the angle allows him to peek towards heaven as well. They can't really use the nebulas of their own for cover, but maybe they will be able to clear out these angles. If a single member from Enigma decides to peek right now, that will be the end. There is a decent enough crossfire between the Sage and the Astra over there, and Sammy is just patient. He can use the Cloudburst to cut off one of the players and then peek the other, maybe even dash back to safety. Oh, and he does that. Ezzy does not peek. That's the crossfire falling apart. Ezzy needed to peek as soon as Hika came in contact, but that just did not came through. Oh my goodness. And now they heard the last player teleport towards that bathroom entrance.
Spike
The turret
planted.
destroyed means they know exactly where Rexy is, and the spike has been planted for some time.
Oh my god.
That's the round going in the favor of TET. It started off with Binks one-tapping Ghost, and then they use his own operator to clutch the round.
Yeah, and I think Ghost is really going to be disappointed with how, I mean, I don't want to say arrogantly, but with how, how cockily he played that, right? He just thought that he could go and get a pick, but he stayed there for a bit too long, you know? I mean, on an eco round, you know that the enemy team is likely to group up and push together, so at best, he could have gotten 1 kill and backed off. At worst, he gave away the operator to the enemy team, and that's exactly what happened. He gives away the operator, and Sammy puts it to such good use. I mean, man, this guy is just single-handedly keeping the dream alive here for the esports team. And now, once again, he's going to try to do the same, as it's a bit of an eco coming out here from Enigma.
Oh my god, tags through the wall? That's what happens when you get revealed by the Aldrome.
Oh!
And Binks blows apart Ezzy. Yep, you tag him with the operator, bag him with the nades, and that is how TET roll. Badman will be able to return the favor to Bad Love. Oh, but he peeks into 3 people at the same time. Ghost will be lucky to get away with his life.
Okay.
And as soon as they see the rotation coming in, they jump into teleporters, but there's Scott Rexy in the backlines. Blocks off Edit's head. Oh my god, a double! Really nice, and now he's got the Seekers online, which means the post-spawn positions of the 2 remaining players will be revealed as well.
They have the lockdown as well. I mean, this round
You
could
should
actually
run.
come back for the side of the esports team. I mean, sorry, for the side of Enigma. Sammy's sure he is the operator, but he's in such a hard spot. There's a dog on him. There's an ult he needs to worry about. He's going to be good for 1, but Aka's going to trade him out. And there you go. This round is completely fallen apart here for the esports team. Sure, Hika is going to get detained, but wait, what? That was Fox's ultimate? Oh, okay. That's cool. I thought that was the ultimate from the side of Team Enigma. That's a little weird. Regardless, I mean, they're going to be able to take this round. Yeah, a bit weird. I thought this would definitely be their ultimate being committed, but hey, an eco round victory, and they recall the operator, and they'll take it any day of the week, twice on a Sunday. Unfortunately, today is a Thursday.
But 2 things happened in succession. Like, both the teams managed to pick up thrifty rounds off of each other. First, it was TET who managed to get that operator in the hands of Sammy. Binks was the one who one-tapped Ghost. But this time, Enigma, they're able to bring it right back. As soon as TET decided to commit towards the A site, they had God Vexy push up towards Hoka. And then he was in prime position to shut down the players of TVT as they were getting out of that teleporter room.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is just... this is just the esports team getting a taste of their own medicine after they, got that initial round. Binks' boom bot, I'm not even sure if it's going to be able to make it towards lamps. It does eat a few bullets, but it survives. It's going to clear up that lamps area. The astral divide or the cosmic divide is going to come through. That should at least help them get the plant down, but this is very dangerous. You can easily peek out, get a kill and back off from that cosmic divide. really hard to try and avoid. And there you go. Big just takes out the showstopper and kills off Badman. Nothing he can do there. No nano swarms, no alarm bots, no sentry guns.
No, not like this, Ghost! Getting taken down by Binks twice in a row, and Ezzy wants to shut Binks down, but unfortunately there's just too many people from the other side, off the site. Edit will be able to get rid of him. Hika finally puts Binks out of the equation. That means the bathrooms area is liberated, and that cloudburst, it won't help them. Hika, last man standing for his team now. Can he actually make this work? He spotted out one player, but the other players are in prime position, and Sammy will be able to stop him before he deals any more damage.
1 HP on it, literally 1 HP. I mean, if Ezzy actually connected with the spray, he was a dead man, but at the end of the day, somehow, the esports team, they answer back. And man, this is what Bind is all about. This is the esports team in their prime. This is what the games they win look like. I mean, sure, it's a little bit messy. Sure, you know, they find themselves in some awkward situations. But when they're surrounded by chaos, they're very happy. They know how to navigate through that. They know how to make sense of it. And they know how to come out on top. And now, Enigma, once again, they are going to be in a rough spot. Look at them. I mean, they have money this round, but there is a bulldog on Badman. Let's see if he can actually get some kills here with it. It's a decent weapon at medium range. The burst fire can really get you a couple of kills if you practice with it a couple of times. But yeah, oh no, Edit with the Hunter's Fury. Can he tag him up? No, he actually cannot. He does not tag him up a single time. Badman. You know, the fact that he's running an inferior rifle, that might give the illusion that they're forced over here and they probably don't have a lot of utility, but still, Badman has a lockdown at the ready, although he's not in position to use it. That smoke is going to help him play around that very well. Just set up a nice crossfire over here, and there you go, Badman's going to find the first kill. He's going to go inside the smoke, and he catches it off guard. Sammy able to fight Ezzy, but it's all him alone on the side with an operator in his hands. Hika's gonna find Fox and makes it. It's all down to Sammy, who somehow made his way towards now. He's gonna find a third.
What?
In a 1v2 situation now. The spike is gonna be hard to recover though because the Killjoy is still standing there. And man, Badman, it's all gonna be down to him as well as Ghost. As Ghost, he's not really coming forward here. He's just holding down shot. He knows that the onus is not on him, but on Sammy himself. When he starts planting that spike, that is when they make their move. Oh my god, Badman playing with fire.
Oh, he needs to hurry towards the B side. That's the only safe place to plant. Should be able to get there and plant the spike in the nick of time, but
10 seconds left.
Have to appreciate that crossfire. It's a three-way crossfire between Badman, God Vexy, and Ghost.
Spike planted.
Badman had to step up over there in quite a successful fashion. Basically, the Nebulas helped him do so, but Sammy is in prime position this time. The Cloudburst, that is so good. They knew exactly which angle Sammy will be holding, but they need one more. And he's got the kill onto Badman. Just needs one more. Jet versus Jet. Sammy's on the verge of an ace. Ghost will deny it. And that is the round going in the favor of Enigma. So close, so labored, but Ghost somehow is successful.
I mean, they were walking the knife's edge there. That was so labored from the side of Enigma. But at the end of the day, I mean, it pays off. You know, they're able to win that round. And now, for the actual buy down that they encounter after this one, they're going to be in a good spot because they can have 2 ultimates at the ready. Maybe they don't have the best money in the world as of now, but if they survive this round, the next round should be in their bag theoretically. They have the Cosmic Divide as well as the KJ ult, which has been online for quite a while now for Enigma.
Yeah, but Badman, I have to point out his position, and it was both good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
It was bad because he was out in the open. You see, he was in a very awkward spot, and we did point it out, but it was good because his teammates were playing around him. The crossfire between Badman and Vexy inside of the U-Hauls area was great. I'm sorry, it wasn't Vexy, it was Ezzy.
Yeah, Ezzy.
So those guys were able to create a crossfire to shut down anyone coming from a shot, and then Ghost was playing from behind the green box, and Badman can turn around to help him out as well if need be. So he's playing 2 responsibilities at the same time.
Oh, okay.
He's able to get away. Godvexy follows up on the back of that, but Edit will trade him out. Now, unfortunately, he's all by himself over here, and he needs backup as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and Hika, he kind of has a feeling that they're backing off. His sound sense is absolutely on point, and look at that, he might just be able to catch a kill. Might be able to catch Edit off guard, but Edit is looking in his direction, and he takes out Hika. That's the man advantage that they needed, and they've left Big Silver on the lurk to cut off any rotations that might come from Hooker. I don't think you can even walk into hookah with the way it's walled off. So yeah, Ezzy, well, he's not going to be able to do much. Bink is going to give away sound when he drops down there. And Ezzy now knows that there's someone playing towards that hookah position. But with the Spectre in his hand, he doesn't really have a best chance of winning this fight. Okay, playing left and right, juking and jiving. But, okay, the Esports team, they're actually going to double fake this one. Go back around and Sammy get the kill with the knives out. This is the side completely opened up. And somehow, once again, Enigma around, which should have been theirs theoretically, is going the way of the Esports team. I mean, look at that. Sammy is down to 2 HP, but still alive and kicking.
Yeah, basically Enigma brought it upon themselves. These guys, TET, were on their way towards the A side, but then they spotted out the Astra inside the metal containers, and they realized, hey, the rotations have come through towards the B side, but only one of them is over here, which means they are kind of expecting us to hit the A side. More people will be present over there, and B is weaker, so let's just continue going B because we've already got the picks over here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is just them trying to save any weaponry that they can. Sammy just putting the fear of God in Ghost, and yeah, I don't think they're going to walk out of the teleporter into Ghost as operator. They would like to take away this weapon, but it's just going to be too costly for them to do so. Their economy is not that great either. And once again, mine, a constant back and forth affair. Who's on top? No one really. I mean, for now it's the Esports team, but I'm not sure if that's going to last for a long time because Enigma have shown time and time again that even in their eco rounds, they really do put up a fight. I mean, it's just a dog that won't say die.
Exactly, eco or not, the Esports team, they're doing really well. Enigma also are pulling off a little bit of an eco stunt this time around because they've got the operator and the Phantom present from the last round, and everyone else is just buying sheriffs to support that. Ghost able to pick off Sammy. That's the danger man taken out of the equation, but they still need to deal with the others. Nanostorm grenades and the boombot will make sure that the default area is empty where Ezzy resides. But him shooting that at boombot kinda reveals his position, so now they will be aware about him. The Nebulas will make sure that Ghost won't be able to peek, but he's still keen on going ahead of the Nebulas, and he's able to get the kill onto Biggs. Falls back towards the bathroom area as well, but can't dash back to safety as Fox will shoot him down finally. Edit also comes through with a frag of his own.
Yeah.
BO3 now. They can plant on the A side, but now they go for the classic switcheroo. Unfortunately, Hika is present over here along with Godvexy to intercept, but they don't have the weapons to fight this one.
They might just be under the false impression that they successfully faked them out, and Hika could get a kill. He's gonna be able to find the killjoy at least and make it a 2v2 situation, but Godvexy reveals it and gets spotted. He gets one kill. Maybe he could have lined up a second one if he had a sheriff, but he had a ghost. And that's the difference maker as Edit wins that round for his team. A close one at that. The Esports team falling into a false sense of comfort. You know, their instincts perhaps fading them a little bit, but regardless, they won the round in the end, and that's all that matters. And once again, I just really want to see the ultimates being used from the side of Enigma. I mean, Godvexy has been on point, but Badman is yet to drop that lockdown.
Yeah, Badman is yet to drop it. He's probably saving it for a retake situation, maybe, because he can use the lockdown in combination with Ezzy's Cosmic Divide. That's the perfect way to retake a site. And given how successful the Esports team have been on these site takes, I'm assuming Enigma will have to go for a retake sometime or the other. Goes, gets a kill, falls back. It's the second time he's been able to kill Sammy.
Oh yeah. And look at his position. Now he's all the way up in heaven. All that mobility coming in his favor now. Binks gonna eat a lot of bullets. Is down to 83 HP, just 15 shields. So he's very vulnerable here. A single phantom headshot could kill him. And Ezzy's gonna find Fox as well. Bad looking to get a kill, but Ghost is there to back him up. And Ezzy's gonna find Binks as well. It's all gonna be down to Edit. Poor old Edit. One person playing against 5 people with 4 ultimates. This round, if he manages to win this, it's probably going to be because Enigma screwed up. And they just might. They just might do it. Hika goes forward, gets taken out. Edit, can he find the second one? Badman, he is going to switch over once again. Those weaponry, and that gives Edit enough time to take him out. But as he was coming in on the flank, Enigma, they bleed a few kills. Once again, Crips, I'm going to do, you know, what you do. Again, I'm just going to ask why. Like, why the hell did you have to do that? Why? Why go forward and contest Edit?
Yeah, Enigma basically now have to downgrade to a Bulldog once again. Badman has been playing on that Bulldog since like the last 2-3 rounds in a row.
I mean, sure, like when he played that Bulldog, he won that round, but you would much rather win the round with a Phantom, wouldn't you? I mean, that's so much easier with that. The fire rate's not completely garbage. You actually have a weapon where you can possibly get 3 kills before having to reload. Bulldog, not as much.
Yeah, unless you're really accurate with those bursts.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're pretty accurate with the Sheriffs, but with the Bulldog, it's a completely different story. Let's see if they're able to breach this B side this time around. This TET don't seem to be going for any of these fakes. They seem to be committed. Maybe they will change their things up and jump into that teleporter to go towards bathrooms if things go south. But for now, no contact has been made, which means they are still very keen on hitting B. Banks on top of that wall. Wants to probably get an angle for himself from where he can gather some information, maybe even a kill. That lockdown will force the players of Enigma back. But before they fall back, they will try to take a couple of kills, and that's exactly what Godvexy did. Unfortunately, got punished by Sammy. That cloud burst saved Hika, honestly. Hika would have been trapped in that gravity well if that cloud burst did not come through from Ghost, and that was it. He's able to keep his teammate alive, but it's still a 4v5. Man advantage in favor of TET, and Eric makes things worse, but Ghost with a double brings it back. Now it's a 3v3, a very doable situation.
And now the Killjoy ult comes through. Now that the Sova is dead, there's no way they can take it out. And this is the situation Enigma has been waiting for. Badman has been holding on to this ult from the game. Oh my goodness, but look at this positioning. Look at this positioning coming in here from the side of the esports team. What the hell is gonna happen? Walk out with a false sense of comfort. Badman looking to stick it though. Ghost is providing him with an apple of cover. And Ghost, look at getting into 5k. Oh no! Bad Love is gonna shot him down. And much like Sammy, Ghost is also going to be denied. As Enigma are going to be falling 2 rounds short, and they are going to have to work that much harder on the offensive half. As once again, their defense, it fails to look really impressive.
I basically called it that these guys, Enigma, will use the lockdown and the Cosmic Divide together. That's what the whole standard meta is. Use the lockdown to force the attackers off the side and then use the Cosmic Divide to make sure that they can't shoot you down as you're trying to defuse. But then TET pull off a 200 IQ play of their own. Instead of falling back towards hookah or long, where you would usually expect the attackers to go, they move towards the defender side entrance. And over there, poor Ezzy had no idea that these guys walked through. I mean, they were shift walking, which means they won't give out any footsteps. But even if they ran, no sound seeps through that barrier.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's very, very damp. It's very faint. You have to be quite close to the wall to actually be able to hear that. So it's unlikely he would be able to, do anything at that. Course eats a small amount of damage from that nade, but is gonna be walking back with his life still in his hands. Nice spam coming in from Binks, tagging up players a little bit. Doesn't do all that much for now, but Binks is still being a thorn in their side. Is now going to drop the boom ward and just retreat. Goes forward with the boom ward, peeks out and gets a kill on Badman. Hika trying to make the plant happen. Godvexy is going to be able to just make sure they have enough space for the time being, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. A 4v3 situation, and Ghost, once again, has to be the hero for his team.
Sammy up against the Sheriff, wins the duel, brings it back to a 3v3. Now they're gonna have to brute force their way into this U-Haul area, and Hika's just tapping everyone out. The bursts are so good! Oh my god, Hika! He just hacked his way into the first pistol round, and what on earth was that performance?
Oh my god, what a beautiful play by Hika. I mean, usually you hate the classic, but when you get kills like those, I mean, you can't even be mad. This thing is like a shotgun if you can aim it at close range. And yeah, him just getting those 3 kills, absolutely insane. I mean, I was thinking that, okay, he got 1 kill, now he's gonna die. I was like, okay, he got the 2nd kill, now he's gonna die. He whiffed the 3rd shot, but then he connected with the 4th one again, and I'm just like, all right, Hiccup, I'll sit down, I'll take a bow. I forgot that you're a duelist player.
Yeah, he's a battle sage after all.
Yep. I mean, this guy is just absolutely insane, making up for that lack of a secondary duelist on his team, just walking forward. And just imagine the gonads on this man, right? He goes in, he plants the spike, he sticks it, even though his team doesn't have full side control, and then he goes out and takes the fight anyway. I mean, man, this guy, yeah, I'm convinced that when they wake up in the morning, duelist players, they just decide that, I'm going to be a complete badass. Or, I'm just going to every single thing. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, it's never in between with these guys.
Yeah, and it was so crucial for him to step up too, because his teammate Ezzy was all the way inside of Bath. Yeah, he sure was able to win the duel against Sammy, but I don't think he would have been able to stop everyone coming through from the U-Haul. that position towards the bathroom area, you can isolate players, but then once you've lost U-Haul control, you can get peeked from truck and U-Haul at the same time. So there's no way the bot player can defend that area all by himself. And especially with the spike planted in the open like that, you're gonna have to swing wide in order to stop the diffuser.
Oh yeah, I mean, bit of a hard one here for the side of the Esports team to swallow. It's gonna be a rough pill, but hey, I mean, this is what they got the advantage for. They have 2 rounds in the bank. It just means that even though Enigma win this one, they really get to set the tempo back in their favor again. And if they're able to win that, we might go to a map 3. But for now, Badman taking the initiative for his team, dropping that Nano Swarm, really not gonna do all that much, but is going to make sure that they are at least able to slow down a push, or at least prevent the backstab from coming in if they do end up going towards the site. For now, the spike is dropped towards that short area, and they've not really made any moves. They know the esports team like to play aggressively, and they are sort of anticipating them to make an aggressive maneuver. You can see the patience from Enigma. They don't want to make moves. They're gonna just chill out, wait for the esports team to overcommit and punish them.
Yeah, it seems like they have committed a lot of their players towards hookah. Not sure if it's overcommitment just yet, but it might be now because Sammy is in a lot of trouble. He's got a lot of angry attackers headed his way, and he gets up.
Spike down A.
Oh boy, Sammy!
He gets raised by the wall, and the positioning where he was standing was so perfect. Gets a burst, dashes back to safety, and that is the most comical kin I have seen today.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's about as good as it gets. A fighting situation, but they have a Vandal to work with. So I think this round, even though they got that first kill, it's probably gonna go the way of Enigma. And there you go, Hika's gonna say, sure, you got a kill on us, but I'm gonna answer right back. You're not gonna get anything more. That's us avenging our friend Ghost. You don't do him like that. Man, just imagine being Ghost in that situation. Like, you literally wake up and you ask yourself, oh, I wonder what could happen today. And in moments like these, you find the answer, and you start realizing that if there's a god of luck, you better start praying to him, or at least doing some agarbatti in the morning, because yeah, those kinds of situations are 1 in a million.
Ghost would have been asking himself, hey, I didn't click on the up drop button. What on earth happened over here? Maybe he was deliberately standing in that position because that is usually where the sages wall whenever there is an A execute. So maybe that was conscious. Maybe that was just luck. I guess we'll never know. But even after all that luck, Enigma are able to recover.
Yeah, Binks. Well, he's just gonna retreat for now. And this is what Enigma do time and time again. They fake presence towards one part of the map, and they're able to draw rotations. But Binks this time is going to be a little bit wiser for that. He's actually rotated towards B, and he has an idea of what they can try to do. Fox can be smoked off. Ghost has been revealed by that sentry. Oh no, he is dead! He is completely dead. That sentry's going to prevent him from outdrafting. He didn't take it out, and that's what they already dealt with. Eka though, still feeling brave, still feeling like they need to plant a spike over here on the site. They can't fall back and go towards A now. And those Astra smokes, they really help you in situations like these. Just make sure that you can stand your ground for a bit longer. God Vexy holding his button on the trigger, not really firing. Could have lined up a couple of kills, but he's down to 24 HP. He's about as good as dead. I don't know if Enigma can see this post plant through.
Oh, definitely not when Sammy is also chiming in. That shock dart could do quite a lot of damage. He softens him up with the shock dart, finishes him off with the Vandal, and a second one onto Badman. Really great retake from TET as they keep all their players alive as well. A near flawless round. This was perfect. I love the way how they were able to react. The fact that they were able to fall back when they saw the players of Enigma rushing into the beast side and deciding to go for the retake is a bitter pill to swallow, because of course, why would you want to give up on the side in the first place? But they keep their players alive, they go in for the retake all at the same time, and it works out in their favor.
Yeah, I think that you could literally just chalk it up to it as being a little bit unfortunate. I think the only thing I can critique Enigma for is for not taking out that sentry gun. Even though Ghost was in the first person in the site, you can't expect him to be the one who takes out that sentry. He needs to be looking out for players trying to peek and catching them off guard so you can actually have enough space to get on site. So someone needs to take care of that sentry, but no one did. And he just ended up dying to the tree there. Sammy might be able to line up too, but Ghost gets the better of him. He's not going to be able to line up anything at all, and now it's all down to Binks. Holding shot by himself, but even though they won that last round, their weaponry is not looking too good. He only has his hands on the Spectre. Bad man. Oh man, yeah, the timing. Bad Luck is going to learn the hard way that there is a Killjoy in land, but he's actually moving in himself. and Batman is not going to
I've
push.
got your
He's more
trail.
than happy just having a look. And there you go, God Vexy with those Seekers. Well, he's going to find out a lot of information. Oh, actually works against Batman. He puts at the worst time possible and gets taken out.
Yeah, but at least he cleared out the room for his team. Now it's a retake situation with Enigma getting the site without having to contest this at all. There might be a bait resurrection if Hika times it well, but Binks is already in position to shut down anyone who might be venturing too further. Yeah, he decides against it. 4v4 retake still online. Slowing down the U-Haul's area, but Binks might just be able to climb on top of the truck with that satchel. No, he's actually using it to clear out the angles and make sure nobody's holding anything close. Yeah, so much utility being dumped into U-Hauls basically forces Hika to go outside, and this gives them control of the U-Hauls, but 3 people peek him at the same time, and that is the worst thing that could have happened. Ghost position has been revealed, which means everyone will act upon him like a firing squad, and there's really not much that he can do in this situation.
They can't defuse.
This is big brain, and time is running out as he pulls it off. He pulls everyone in, and he pulls the round off as well. What a big brain play. Wins the round without even making contact.
Beauttiful. Beautiful round from Enigma. I mean, I know I'm gonna sound biased as hell when I say this, but goodness, just to make that play and just to do what Izzy did in that round, nobody would think of it that way. Nobody would try to use the gravity well to prevent the defuse from coming in. Great stuff by Badlove. I mean, if the center of the gravity well was actually placed on the spike itself, you could get the defuse in, but it wasn't on the spike. It was slightly outside. So every time you try and sit down for the defuse, you just get moved. You can't see the defuse through.
Exactly. And they realize that everything's going wrong. So maybe the silver lining for TET over here is that they were able to escape into hookah before the spike exploded, so they're able to retain their guns at least. Yeah, but what good are those guns? Oh my god, wait, they could be really good. The read from TET is spot on. They've been struggling with their reads in Haven. They did it to some extent in the first few rounds of this attacking half as well, but nah, this time it's perfect. Everyone on the side of TET is present on this B site. And if Enigma decide to commit over here, this could be disastrous. They've only got Batman as the lurk towards A. And Batman needs to relay some information. He needs to tell them that A is clear, and he will do it. Crisis averted. Enigma are going to rush into the A side as quickly as possible. But the rotation from TET, will it arrive in time? Batman, he's going to receive them, and he sees a couple players, decides to fall back. Ah, how is he still alive?
Oh man, that is absolutely pivotal. But okay, that recon had revealed a lot of players. Sammy could work wonders with that Vandal. The penetration power on that gun is super high, and he might be able to take out God Vexy, but God Vexy surviving. That shock dart does so much damage. The heal comes through though. He's still gonna be alive. That ball needs to be broken, and once again they're playing post-plant with so much patience. Batman's gonna peek out, get a second kill, and have a third player as well. Bad Love is low as all heck, and now it's all down to the rest of the members on Enigma. Edit is gonna try to get the defuse through. They need to peek him. They need to peek him, and they will. They will take him out. God Vexy gets the final bullet in. Great stuff by Batman. I mean, this guy on the lurk is just absolutely phenomenal. Just, buying time by the skin of his teeth. That was so close. That nanoswarm could have been destroyed. If the nanoswarm doesn't go off, I don't think that not any of that happens in that round. That was purely on that first nanoswarm going off.
Yeah, and then they forced all the players of TET to go in from Heaven. The players from Defender entrance can't really do much, and even the guys in Heaven really can't enter the site without the backup of their teammates coming in from the main entrance. So all they could do was just spam the green boxes and hope that the wallbang will net them a kill. Unfortunately, it did neither. They did not get the kill, they did not get the timing either, and Enigma have been just so good on these retake situations. They only lost one round in the second half so far. That too was in a retake situation when they did not have the man advantage. But every time Enigma are able to get that spike down, they basically delay the round so much. Sometimes it's because of the gravity belt, sometimes it's because of the nanoswarm grenades, sometimes maybe even both. So Enigma are doing a pretty good job at that, and because of this, they've broken the camel's back. At this point, TET are on an eco. They've just got a bunch of sheriffs and classics to work with. Maybe this will be yet another round that Enigma puts in their bag and hopefully gets to the double-digit mark with 10 points. But we have seen TET pull off those sheriff plays time and again. I just hope they don't fall victim to it once more.
Absolutely. I mean, This one's gonna be a little bit hard for them because it isn't the one straw that breaks the camel's back. It's the million ones underneath it that break the camel's back too. It's not just that one. So I mean, even though the esports team looked really phenomenal on the attacking side, they were able to get a lot of kills for themselves in those eco rounds and just catch the side of Enigma off guard. Enigma, thanks to their composed nature, have had a game plan for every single round, and even though sometimes that game plan doesn't work out, just having a game plan is giving them a little bit more success, and they finally have the economical advantage as well. Look at their money; it's looking pretty decent. Even if they lose this round, Ghost could probably drop over Badman a rifle if needed in the next one, and they could do a full buy and try to contest the side of the esports team again. And the esports team, if they want to build their economy, it's gonna take at least 2 or 3 round wins in a row to start giving them that safety comfort of having being able to lose one round and being able to buy the next anyway. So yeah, the esports team, they're really going to be fighting uphill from here. Let's see if Team Enigma can just make sure this round goes as clean for them as possible, because even if the esports team managed to get 2 or 3 kills, Enigma is not really going to be able to build up their economy as much as they'd like. They'll have to repurchase those 2 rifles, they'll have to repurchase their shields, and they're probably only going to have an extra 1,000 or 1,500 credits in the bank, which could be enough. They could still, go light shields and rifle, but then they'd be skimping out on utility, and that'd be a problem.
Skimping out on utility does seem to be a much bigger problem than not having weapons.
Yeah.
We have seen so many rounds being pulled off simply because of utility present on the side of Enigma. I
Yeah.
mean, those were just in post-spawn positions, but you ever consider what these guys will be able to pull off if they time the utility well? I'm talking about TET over here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, on the back of those nebulas, if a well-timed recon dart goes through it, they can get a free kill through the smoke. And they can do it every time
There.
Enigma decide to commit towards one of these sites. In fact, they've even got their ultimates online.
There.
A Hunter's Fury can easily stop the plant from going through. The Showstopper
There.
can cause havoc. The Cosmic Divide, in combination with the Lockdown, which isn't available just yet, can make the retake very easy for the team of TET. But
Turret out.
that is exactly the problem. They can't use the Lockdown unless they have the Cosmic Divide. At least they're able to get one ultimate online by capturing that orb, and now Sammy has his Blade Storm.
Yeah, they still have 4 ultimates at the ready. Let's not count out the side of the esports team just yet, because that Showstopper could be heavy. I mean, it could do
Yeah.
a lot of work if he managed to catch them at the right time. But that potential has been taken away because Binks, a little bit too aggressive, has been picked off by Badman. Now they only have the Hunter's Fury and the knives at the ready as their potential. But Badman is not done on his load just yet. He's going to take out the Astra as well, and that's the Cosmic Divide being taken away. No more ultimates. Nothing that they can do over here. Ghost is going to get another kill. Take out Fox. And this round is all but over as Enigma. Clean execution for them. Please, please don't go ahead and peek. No, please stop, stop. Okay, never mind. You got the kill without dying. That's all that matters.
Yeah, Batman came in from the back lines, and he was able to get that final kill.
I mean,
That one funny thing happened though, Floki. You noticed it. I know you did.
yeah.
This time, it was the Sova that was, raised with the wall.
Yeah.
We saw Sammy do it once. Now Edit got raised by the wall. And at this point, I think they're just doing it deliberately.
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of, when you're a toddler and then, your father or someone lifts you up in the air and you're like, yay! I mean, that's what...
Yay! And he will always be able to catch the Sage off guard, at least.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately enough, it's never the Sage that has paid the price. It has always been someone else on Hika's team who's dying. It's either Ghost or someone else taking the brunt of that damage. But yeah, it did happen again. Unfortunately, do want to fill in, just quickly want to fill in, there are a few internet issues happening for the esports team for the time being. I mean, I don't know if that's what's causing them to have these problems as of now, but yeah, they have used a significant chunk of their pause time, and I'd hate for them to go out in by not even fighting at full force, because this is the buy round that they need to win. If they're not able to fix Edit's internet in time, then yeah, they could potentially be fighting at a disadvantage inherently. Oh,
Okay,
my.
if nothing else, at least this little timeout will give them a little bit of time to
Yeah.
recompose themselves, maybe calm their nerves a little. And they do need to calm their nerves, because every time Enigma Gaming throw a little fit towards one of these sides, they react in quite a vicarious manner. These guys, they rotate really quickly. That's one thing I've noticed about TET. Their rotations are really fast, but sometimes they're a little excessive. So that's something that they need to fix because Enigma Gaming, they will continue sending Madman into these lurking positions, and this time he was able to get kills for absolutely free.
Yeah, I
People
mean,
were not even looking him in the right direction.
exactly. I mean, when you encounter this in your ranked games, you actually don't feel all that bad because at least you're happy that your team is watching the map and they're rotating on time, even though they might get faked out a couple of times. It's a big brain strategy that the enemy team is playing. But in these sorts of situations, you just really need to be able to hold down or have a bit of more of a proactive approach, to sniff out the enemy team. And this is sort of
Yeah,
the esports team's problem, right? You've mentioned this before.
yeah,
They don't
in
play
Haven.
map.
Yeah, I mentioned that they need to play a little more proactively in Haven, and Enigma did it in their defensive side. And I mentioned that TED need to do it as well on their defense. They did not do it in Haven. They might be able to do it in Bind because they're a little more comfortable with it. But so far, whenever they peek, it's only to pick up fights, never to pick up information. They never push the areas which are being given up by Enigma. They only push the areas where Enigma is present to fight them, which is a little 50-50 sort of situation because you may or may not win the fight, but then every time you push an area which isn't being taken over by Enigma already, you will 100% of the times get map control over there.
Yeah. And that's, I think, one thing that the esports teams, if they focus a little bit more on, they could be a very scary team. I feel like what the esports teams really thrive on right now is just their individual skill. I mean, sometimes they're able to set each other up for brilliant success. Other times, not so much. I think if they actually fix their teamwork, these guys could seriously be a very strong contender in the gauntlet. But for now, they need to contend with Enigma. This is a lower bracket match. This is potentially, I mean, we didn't talk about this, but they could get eliminated over here, Crips. I mean, they lose this. They lose this map, they're out. There's no more chances available for the esports team. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they really need to win this one and take it to Ascent, where we have seen Enigma falter. I do remember them making a comeback against Force One, even though Force One had 12 rounds in their bag. Enigma probably don't want to find themselves in that situation again, so they very much would like to win this.
Yeah.
Is right here and right now, please.
And you know what? They don't even need to just win this map. They also need to win this round because take a look at that economy. They are running on fumes right now. This is probably the last time they're able to afford a full buy. They've lost 3 rounds consecutively to Enigma. They had to eco in order to save up for this one. If they lose this one, they will be downgrading to Spectres and Sheriffs, and sure, they can pull off some really sick Sheriff shots, but then they're just never as reliable as good old Phantoms and Operators now, are they? At least after losing 4 rounds in a row, they will have the loss bonus to be able to pick up heavy shields and a little bit of utility to go along with those Sheriffs. But you really can't keep on relying on those because at that time, Enigma will be at 11, just 1 round away from map and match point.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't want to be the team that takes it to or like is fighting for overtime because sure, even if you get to overtime, the playing field is still level. At that point, it's all about brain games, brain
Yeah.
games, if you will. A bit of an old meme all the way back from 2015. But yeah, apart from that, I think it's very hard to contest a team like Enigma during overtimes. You saw what they did against Global Esports. I mean, 5 overtimes is ridiculous. Like, I think the most we've had is 7 or 8. It was in it was in Enigma's match only. I think it was Enigma versus Kuchby on Briefs. So,
Yeah.
yeah, these guys. I mean, they're not bad on overtime.
And you know what the funny part is?
Yeah.
In overtime against Global Esports, both Enigma and Global were pulling off rounds on their defense side, but they were not able to pull off rounds on attack. Here's the funny thing Enigma against TET are able to win 5 out of the 6 attacking rounds that they have played so far. If this does go into overtime,
Yeah.
then Enigma will not struggle against TET because this time their attacking side is much more solid.
Yeah. Absolutely. But for now, we are going to be cutting to a short break, guys. The esports team, they ran out of their pastime, and Enigma has agreed to wait a little bit more when they were asked to wait for it. So we're just going to be making sure it comes back to the game. And when he's back, we'll be back with this match. Until then, you're watching LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 1, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. We'll be back in just a bit.
guys, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents TEC Gauntlet Season 1, and we are back with the game. Edit is back in the server. Unfortunately, that means Ghost will be taken off by Sammy. Early man advantage for the side of TET.
You will
This is
not
exactly
kill
what they
my
have been looking
allies.
for. But all of that has been put offline. Oh, the resurrection comes through, but there's the Hunter's Fury, and it tags both of them. Oh, doesn't kill them. Survival ensured.
Absolutely. I mean, just getting a 1-for-2 on the Hunter's Fury would have been absolutely insane, but that 1-for-2 only lasted for one shot, and Edit is gonna have to go for his retake. Now the showstopper is gonna be able to get Batman, so that's a very healthy player being taken out. Ezzy is gonna get spammed out by Bad Love as well. And looks like that pause, it has helped the side of the esports team recompose as they're now in a 3v5 situation. Resurrection already used, and the esports team can be feeling good about this. Ghost has the mantle at the ready. He's done some insane plays before, but can he do it again? That's the question.
Gets a second shot at life. Survives the Hunter's Fury as well. His teammates don't survive the showstopper, but that's okay because they're doing a classical switcheroo. Sammy is in position to shut down anyone who comes through, but Hiccup will be able to pre-fire him. That's great. Oh, there's no Nebula towards elbow, which means Edit will be able to get the kill onto Ghost, and the shock dart will kill the God Vexy, but it doesn't even need to come through. Battler will finish him before the shock darts land at his feet. Hiccup now trapped inside the metal containers. Only 14 seconds left and no HP as well. They bring it back. They had to use 2 ultimates for it.
Yeah.
The Showstopper and the Hunter's Fury both were used up by Edit and Binks respectively, but at least they ensure the round. And they
Yeah.
still have 2 very crucial ultimates online. Sammy with the Blade Storm, he can cook up a storm himself. And with just 2 points, Fox will be able to bring the lockdown online. They can use it in conjunction with the Cosmic Divide to make the retake successful, if it ever goes for a retake. If they ever let Enigma into the site, that is. For now, I feel like Sammy is still feeling adventurous as he wants to peek to its hookup with the operator. Won't see anyone just yet, but if he can get this kill, that's a spike. And now
down
all their
B.
plans have been revealed.
Oh yeah, I hope that the esports team don't over-rotate for this. They have been over-rotating on information in the past, but Sammy is just shutting them down. Gets the third kill as well. Looking for the ace that was denied to him earlier in this half. And this guy, well, he's gonna try to flash herself in, but for now, she's not gonna be able to do so. They have the spike at the ready, but the God Vexy is just trapped here. He's gonna have to wait another 25 seconds if he wants to get the hell out. That, or he's gonna have to use that wolf to try and bait out the first shot from Sammy, but even then, that's gonna be risking it. A 2v5 situation, I mean, I have to say Enigma, they had all the momentum in their favor, but now
enemy
it's
remaining.
been taken back. God Vexy is gonna be good for 1, but that's all he's good for. And Batman is also gonna get taken out. Not much he can do there, and all the money that Enigma had built up is now finally starting to, not really matter all that much because the esports team, they've put 2 rounds on board, which, if the pause didn't happen, they had no business winning. Absolutely not. They did not have money to make this happen. But, man, the way they were able to recompose themselves and come back in this game, we actually have a best of 3 on our hands.
Yeah, exactly. And both the rounds that they were able to win were economically crucial rounds. Now that they're able to get these in their bag, their economy looks more or less sound because they still have plenty of money in the bank. Enigma are now starting to run on fumes. They've got a little bit of spare money onto Ghost, Tika, and Ezzy, but Batman and Vexy are broke. If they lose this round, they will have at max a couple of Vandals in the next round, and someone will have to downgrade to a Spectre. But this is it. Oh, this nade could be disastrous. Ghost takes a bunch of damage. Now they need to move into the B side once again. And the lockdown basically clarifies their intentions. No Nebulas have come through. And these players on the side of TET are not keen on leaving this area. Finally, they will get out as the lockdown is about to pop. Seekers have been committed as well, just to help Ghost get inside. But if he peeks, he's gonna be a dead man. There's 4 people peeking him at once. He can't get away with murder. He will be traded out. Again, someone got elevated, but this time not on top of the wall. They were dropped down because of the angle.
Yeah.
Count the lockdown. Is there? No, there is no Hunter's Fury available. That means they're gonna have to make this one work, and the Cosmic Divide will make sure that they have no chance of coming back into the site either. This could be disastrous. Maybe they'll get detained. Yes, Batman has been detained. Maybe the Cosmic Divide will keep him safe, and they are now trying to stake it. I don't think anyone can stop this from happening. Yeah, this is not through.
Oh my god, he couldn't pop the Nano Swarm because he was detained. Oh my goodness, that is so sad for Team Enigma there. If Batman actually made it back, he could have popped the Nano Swarm and we'd actually have a round on the hands, but he got detained, and that's the end of that. And
Exactly.
the esports team, man, they've just brought this momentum back under their control. Look at all the money that they have now. I mean, they're just working with a full buffet over here. They just take your pick. What do you want? An operator, a vandal, a dash for sheriff? Go ahead, it's all yours. Enigma, on the other hand, this is the last buy round that they can string together before they have to start playing for overtime. And yeah, this does not look like it's gonna be easy. Binks is gonna get that first kill on Batman. That's the killjoy being taken out. No one nanostorm, and Binks even writes an XD in chat. Ah, boy. Well, Hika, now he needs to step up for his team. The Sage uses the Sentinel, but Hika has shown that he can deal with it if need be. It's gonna be a take on Binks as well, and he pulled it back. Hika stepping up for his team, but it matters the most. And now Bad Luck trying to catch them off guard. Hika has the resurrection at the ready, and he's gonna go back and get his teammate back up. Bad Luck though is gonna find Coles. The rest comes through, and he tries spamming him down, but he's not gonna be successful. Godbex, he gets the kill, and now it's a 4v2 situation. Enigma, they really, really need to pull this round on board, otherwise they don't have a chance in this game.
They have done it.
Yep, the call to save comes in. The operator is far too valuable to try and retake.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least with the operator online, they will be able to put weapons in the hands of their fallen players. Badler, Binks, Fox, all of them have enough money to purchase weapons once again, but they never had enough to purchase another operator. 11-11, Floki. This series keeps on getting closer and closer. The lockdown plus cosmic divide combination helped them win the previous round, and they had a little bit of extra insurance policy as well. But this time, how do they stop Hika from popping off? Once he's able to get inside that U-Halls, he basically slays everyone who's trying to re-enter the A site.
Yep.
Even after Binks picks up that opening kill, it just simply wasn't enough as Enigma are able to make it work. The trades go in their favor, and they use the same old strategy. It's not like they're changing too much on their attacking side. The same barrier orb to get the plant, the same recon dart every time. The nebulas also haven't changed all that much. But this time, Hika, the only thing he did differently was go into the U-Halls himself rather than letting Batman go in there. And his presence made all the difference. That spray control was impressive.
I mean, he forgot for a second that he was on the Sage and not the Phoenix, and just went forward and pressed W for his team. No fear whatsoever. And then being able to get the rest just secured the round for them so well. So Hika, yep, single-handedly responsible for that previous round win. But now, looks like Enigma is borrowing a page out of the esports team's book. Once they decide where they want to go, they're going to hit it with full toast. And Fox, it's all down to him. All his utility already deployed. It's under Hookah. He might even get a couple of kills with it, but he's going to have to time it very, very well. One of the players is going to be wanted over here. Hika's going to be taken down, but as he's going to get the trade. A 4v4 situation still. And Ghost hiding inside the Nebula, waiting for him to push. Edit is going to try to line up some shock darts here. This could give Ghost the incentive to push, and he does. He finds Edit. That's going to be the end of that 4v3 situation now, and none of the esports team players are in position to try and retake this side. They're all going to be coming in from defender spawn. You're going to have to worry about so many crossfires, so much utility, and then there's Ghost to contend with as well. Even if Ghost dies, there's Ezzy to back him up. This round, it's looking like it might be over for the esports team, but Banks is going to pull it back. Ezzy's going to get taken out.
Wow.
So he's gone. Those satchels are making space, and now they're going to start tagging the spike up. Batman, though, is going to be good for one. Is probably going to run out of bullets. Pulls out the classic, but God makes he's going to be there to cover him. And now, with the classic, he takes out Sammy as Sammy ran out of bullets, pulled out the knife. Ah, boy. Enigma somehow managing to pull it back as they find themselves on map and series point. The esports team on the brink of elimination, fighting for overtime here. And they don't have good weaponry.
Yeah, they're finally not get eliminated. Binks used the satchels really creatively. He pushed both Ezzy and Hika out of position, made them wobble on their feet before he took their heads off. But after that, even after committing the Nebula and the Cloudburst, it did not protect them. It did not let them defuse the spike because the players of Enigma just threw bodies at them. And they were forced to pick up these fights to the extent where they ran out of bullets. That's desperation plays coming in from the side of Sammy. And this is not the first time he was desperate to pull out the knife. We've seen him do it before, but this time Ghost, he pulls off the one tap onto Badlove, and he's going aggressive even further. No, that was overcommitment. That was unnecessary. And with that, Binks gets the show shopper online, but Hika once again inside of U-Halls. He gets a double kill. The Hunter's Fury will force them out of the U-Haul area, but it doesn't matter because they still have the advantage. It's just Edit left, and he's already used up everything he had. Recon not available in a second, but that is if he
Okay.
survives this first kill. Only a Spectre, he wants to upgrade to a better weapon, but that barrier drop will force him to go all the way around the green halls, the green box, or go into U-Haul, and he's doing neither. He's going the long way around. He can use the recon dart to reveal anyone inside U-Halls, but now he's also worried about someone being inside the bath area. And I wouldn't be surprised if both of them double peek him at the same time. A flash as an insurance policy, and they both hide. They're using everything this time. Eric can't even make it back to cover because of the slow orb, and Hika finally puts him out of his misery. Enigma Gaming win 2-0 and 13-11 on both the maps. TET made them sweat. They made them work for this one. But Enigma Gaming survive in this tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, I was hoping it'd be a little bit more close, but at the end of the day, Enigma just able to edge out with the same scoreline as in map 1, a 13-11 win. This is not, a failure for the esports team by any stretch of the imagination. Even though their run has ended over here, they've made it really close. And if anything, they've shown that when Season 2 comes around, they are not to be trifled with. People are going to have to take them seriously because this team, they only have a few kings to work on. Once they work on that, I can't wait to see what they're going to do in that second season. But for now, we're going to talk about Enigma because they're the ones who took the win. And boy, did they keep themselves calm and composed throughout that series.
Yeah, let's take a look at the match highlights and see exactly how Enigma Gaming were able to bring it back. You are right when you said that they were calm and composed, especially in those last few rounds. Those are the ones where you really need to keep your heart rate under control, because if you start panicking in the last few rounds, that is going to be it. And Enigma Gaming have always waited until the very last moment to pull the games back.
Masters of meditation. I mean, that's what Enigma are. They're just able to focus all their energy into calming themselves down and use their mind more than their heart. I mean, the esports team, they're the exact opposite of that. These guys, when they start feeling themselves, it can be very, very hard to stop them. They have no rhyme or reason to them. I mean, just look at this kill, right? Bangs just walks up, gets the kill on Ghost. Sure, Ghost was making a mistake, but still, he probably should have been able to get that kill. There's no reason Bing should be just able to walk up for that long in his crosshair and shoot him in the head.
Exactly. And after he shot him in the head, they retrieved the op, they fell back to safety, and they pulled the round back. That was a thrifty round taken by TET. But once TET win the thrifty, Enigma come back with an eco round of their own. And it was all possible because of Godrex's aggressive positioning. That's the one thing that Enigma did really well in their defensive side. They were proactive in taking up these fights. They wanted to push aggressively to gather information. And more often than not, it got them more than just information. It got them the crucial impact frags and the rounds as well.
Great stuff here from the esports team. I mean, they really tried their hardest to make this work. And they had some really good moments. I mean, Binks and, Sammy, Sammy almost got an ace multiple times in this game. And so did Ghost. But at the end of the day, it's just not enough. And this round, it could have gone really, really good for them if Hika kept himself composed. But yeah, in the end, they weren't really able to, do all that much. They did take away a lot of weapons, but that's about all that they could do. And I have to say, the esports team, they definitely put up a good fight. Let's not forget, they were up 7-5. They had the advantage. It's just that their defense, it didn't look all that good. And once again, that's the only thing that I can really point out for the esports teams. Apart from that, I mean, everything else are mistakes that they can easily fix with a bit more communication and just talking to each other a little bit more.
Yeah, but even in rounds where they were making mistakes, they did some things which were really unorthodox, such as whatever you just saw on your screen, pushing against that cosmic divide and bamboozling everyone.
Yeah.
So that was something really good from the side of the esports team, as they were able to pull off these eco rounds, which they never really had a great chance of winning, but they were still able to do so. But then, when the second half came around, Enigma Gaming were able to fake out the esports team and bait out rotations very often. So many times we saw the esports team commit 4 players towards A or 4 players towards B. This time, they had most of the players positioned towards B, and when they came into the U-Halls while retaking, Hicker was able to tap all of them with his classic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just had a chance to look at the scoreboard, and even though the esports team lost, Sammy and Edit are on top of the scoreboard in terms of frags. then it's all the Enigma players. But this just goes on to show that the esports team, they don't lack firepower, they just lack a little bit of communication. Enigma, on the other hand, I mean, I just have to talk about Hika. He didn't always, have the best performance, but there are rounds that he single-handedly won for his team. The pistol round, the round where they lost a player and he bent forward to get 2 picks for his team, the rounds where Binks went off. I mean,
Yeah.
Hika, just having a presence like him on the team has to be so bolstering for you mentally, right? Because you know that in times where risks need to be taken, this is a man who can just hone his instincts while keeping in the back of his mind how the enemy team like to play, where he's gonna get beat from, and just using that against them. I mean, every single time we panned on towards Hika, and it was his time to shine. He shined really, really brightly. I mean, even though he wasn't playing that Phoenix, he was a star today.
Exactly, and he was an even brighter star inside of these U-Hauls. On several occasions, he was able to get multi-kills, and those two in the last few rounds, the rounds where getting those kills was extremely crucial. So, yeah, this is not the only time where he was able to get that double kill. We will see it once again. But this round, I swear, was really well thought out by the esports team. They did everything correctly, but then Enigma were just so desperate. They threw in their bodies into the smokes to pick up those fights, and they just kept on juking them around to the extent where the esports team ran out of all their bullets, and Sammy, poor guy, had to go in for the knife kills. I am pretty impressed by the esports team. I love the way how they were able to adjust on several occasions, but unfortunately, Enigma Gaming are a bit too versatile for that.
Yeah, just a little bit sad. But hey, that was the match highlights for you guys. I think we're gonna be pulling up the scoreboard next, sorry, the bracket screen next, so we can see who's advancing and who's not. But yeah, Crips, I have to agree with you when you say that. Enigma. Sure, like the esports. I mean, sure, like Team Enigma, they look good, but the esports team, they really did not make it easy. A 13-11
Yeah.
scoreline is not something to be exactly proud of. Enigma, sure, they take the win 2-0. On paper, it looks super neat, but when they go back and look at this WOD, they are going to realize that there were a lot of things that they could have fixed and that they should have fixed that the esports team kept exploiting. I mean,
Exactly.
this, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is just such an amazing playoff series, and I can't wait to see who's going to go up against them next. I, for one, would love to see a rematch between them and Force One, but you had something to say, Chris.
Yeah, I was just gonna reinforce the same point that you mentioned, how the esports team were able to pull off so many rounds where Enigma Gaming made mistakes, and the way these guys punished the mistakes of Enigma was just really impressive, even when they did not have the superior weaponry. So kudos to the esports team for making Enigma sweat, but unfortunately, their journey in the LG Ultragear TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon, has come to an end. Yeah, we're gonna miss this team. But Enigma Gaming will next face the winner of Godlike versus Force One. Both of those teams are also pretty impressive, and they've had some really stellar performances in the league up until now. But this is when they will have to step up yet again because elimination is at stake over here. Will they be able to stay alive in this league? Will they die out early? Godlike and Force One, both of them are really good teams, and it really would break our hearts to see one of them go. But unfortunately, one of them must, so that the journey may carry on. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be having that match next after a little bit of a short break. But that match will be, again, pretty exciting. Both the teams are going to give it their best because there is way too much at stake over here.
Absolutely. So make sure you stay tuned in. But I think with that, we are going to be taking our leave. That's going to be it for the first best of three of the day. The next one is going to be exciting. Godlike and the Force One. Both teams have a lot of fans, much like the esports teams and Enigma themselves. And boy, this is going to be very, very interesting. I mean, either of these teams winning gives us an amazing storyline. If Force One wins, they're going to be going up against Enigma next. And boy, did that match go, north to south real, real quickly for Force One. If Godlike win, we could potentially see a rematch between them and Global down the line, and just them competing for supremacy. So yeah, a lot of interesting storylines coming that you don't want to miss. But that's gonna be it from our side for this best of three. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to chat. I know I dunked on you guys a little bit. I was just trying to just spice things up a little bit. But yeah, thank you for everyone who tuned in for this match, and I hope we see more of you guys at 7:30 when Godlike go up against Force One Esports. For now, thank you for watching LG Ultra Gear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 1 powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radium. My name is Floki, with me was Scripps, and we'll see you some other time.
1, 2, 3, let's go.